llegado la jornada 13 de la Liga MX y en Chivas TV te traemos un duelo muy atractivo entre dos grandes del fútbol mexicano. Toño Rodríguez nos comparte su sentir de cara a este importante duelo que representa más que solo 3 puntos para los rojiblancos. Analiza junto a nosotros las debilidades y fortalezas de los Pumas en la pizarra de Enrique Noriega. Desmenuzamos los números y trayectoria de Luis Fernando Tena a su llegada a la dirección técnica del Guadalajara. Revive la visita de Chivas a Ciudad Victoria para su partido de Copa, la cual terminó con 25 años de ausencia del rebaño en esta plaza tamaulipeca. Mauro Hernández y Fernanda de la Mora continúan haciendo de las suyas. Ponle atención a sus ocurrencias en el calor del rebaño. Chivas recibe a los Pumas de la UNAM. Duelo de equipos grandes en el Estadio Akron y lo vas a poder disfrutar en vivo a través de la señal de Chivas TV.
¿Qué tal amigos? ¿Cómo están? Muy buenas noches, bienvenidos a una emisión más de Chivas TV, la casa del equipo más grande, querido y mexicano de la Liga MX. Noche de fútbol en Zapopan, el Guadalajara recibe a las Pumas de la UNAM, fecha 13 del Campeonato Nacional, edición Apertura 2019. Lo hemos venido diciendo, no hay mañana para el Guadalajara. Hoy, sí o sí, el cuadro de Luis Fernando Tena tiene que sumar de a 3 para poder aspirar a seguir sumando también triunfos y todavía tener esa opción de depender de sí mismo para estar en la pelea por el título. Como ya lo saben, tenemos muchísimas cosas para ustedes, pero no sin antes presentarles a mi compañera y amiga Aranza Fernández. Sara, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida a una emisión más de Chivas TV.
Fernando, muchísimas gracias. And first I want to continue giving this amazing news for the United States because today we have great news for you. Ramses Sandoval is going to be our play-by-play commentator and Nico Cantor will be our analyst. And just like you know, I'm the field reporter for this broadcast. So we're really excited to have you on this match.
Así es, ya lo saben, a través de esta misma pantalla en YouTube. Se los acaba de decir Ara en inglés con 2 debutantes. Bienvenidos compañeros a estas emisiones de la Casa del Rebaño Sagrado y como ustedes bien lo saben, estaremos presentando a mis compañeros en la señal en español, ambas en YouTube, en Facebook vamos solo en español.
Algo importante, nuestro analista, nuestro narrador de Estados Unidos son de tu DN, esta excelente colaboración que tenemos.
Así es para todos ustedes, para mejorar esta experiencia a través de Chivas TV, si usted elige el angloparlante. Ahora, un partido, híjole, Guadalajara en la mitad de semana en la Copa se vio muy bien, sobre todo en el segundo tiempo, triunfo de 2-0 allá en Ciudad Victoria frente a Correcaminos. Cierto, es otro torneo, pero siempre sumará un triunfo y hoy más que nunca hay que hacerlo en la Liga, ¿no?
Exactamente, completamente creo que ahorita lo que se necesita es entender la responsabilidad que tiene cada uno de estos equipos. Específicamente hablando de Chivas, no se puede perder ya ninguno de los puntos para poder mantenerse dentro de la pelea para pasar y acceder a la siguiente fase. Y bueno, justamente vamos a analizar un poquito de lo que ha estado trabajando Luis Fernando Tena. Específicamente vamos a hablar de sus números. Vamos a ver este reportaje.
En el fútbol, como en la vida, muchas veces hay reencuentros con el pasado, tal como sucedió recientemente con las Chivas y Luis Fernando Tena, ya que el nuevo entrenador del Guadalajara, en su etapa como jugador, militó en el equipo más mexicano y querido del país 3 temporadas entre 1983 y 1986, lapso en el cual fue subcampeón de Liga en la campaña 83-84. El flaco inició su trayectoria como director técnico en 1994 y ha estado en el banquillo de 10 equipos. Su experiencia, temple y conocimiento lo llevaron a ganar 2 títulos de liga, 3 campeonatos de CONCACAF y fue quien condujo a la selección nacional sub-23 a obtener el mayor logro del balompié mexicano en la historia, la medalla de oro en los Juegos Olímpicos de Londres 2012. Proceso que incluyó éxitos previos como el oro en los Juegos Panamericanos de Guadalajara 2011 y el título del torneo Esperanzas de Toulon 2012. Dicha experiencia con el Tri le permitió coincidir con 8 elementos que hoy integran las filas rojiblancas, conocimiento que seguramente será clave para poder cumplir la encomienda de hacer de nuevo que el rebaño sea un equipo ganador, constante y que siempre pelee por estar en los primeros puestos de la Liga MX.
1, 2, 3, Chivas, Chivas, ra, ra, ra.
Pues ahí está, ahora la radiografía del flamante entrenador del Guadalajara, que vivirá su tercer partido como timonel del rebaño sagrado. Y ustedes ya lo saben, 3 años vistió la camiseta rojiblanca en su época como jugador. Es una encomienda bastante importante, no será fácil, pero si hay alguien con la experiencia, el temple y sobre todo esa calidad humana para sacar y exprimir lo mejor de cada jugador, ese es Luis Fernando Tena.
Específicamente, como lo dijiste, creo que tienes toda la razón. Este es un director técnico que puede inyectar todo lo necesario para que Guadalajara vaya por lo necesario. Ahora vamos a ver la pizarra con Enrique Noriega para conocer más del rival.
Akron presenta.
Amigos de Chivas TV, ¿cómo están? Es un placer saludarles. Tenemos la pizarra de los Pumas de la UNAM, el equipo de Miguel González, el español, que pues empezó el torneo de forma trompicada y poco a poco se ha ido metiendo a los puestos de liguilla. Hoy se encuentran en la 8ª posición antes del comienzo de esta jornada y pues en cuanto a lo ofensivo no han podido anotar muchos goles. Es de los equipos que menos anota, pero también de los que menos reciben en el circuito. Tienen una estabilidad tremenda, así que platicaremos en torno a los Pumas. El partido pasado paró con Alfredo Saldívar, el Pollo en la portería, una línea de 4 con Alan Mozo y Jason Angulo por los costados, Freire y Luis Quintana como defensas centrales. Mozo incluso ya de los hombres que echa mano el Tata Martino, un elemento al que le gusta muchísimo llegar a línea de fondo y pone muchas pelotas al área, muchos centros. Angulo también es un hombre que tiene buena llegada, les cuesta un poco los regresos, un poco más a Mozo, que en parte defensiva sufre un poco más. Angulo tiene un poco más de fuelle y eso le facilita el regreso. Los centrales por juego aéreo son fiables, por abajo les cuesta bastante trabajo, además de que en la salida no son muy agraciados. En el medio campo tienen en el centro a el Lobo Andrés Iniestra y Juan Pablo Vigón, son los que mueven los hilos en medio campo. Por fuera está Víctor Malcorra, que habitualmente era lateral o carrilero por izquierda, va más adelante después del partido contra Santos. Y por la derecha Pablo Edson Barrera, ahí están estos 4 en el medio campo. Ojo a las llegadas de Vigón, que pisa muy bien el área. También hay que prestarle particular atención a Andrés Iniestra, que se ha ganado la titularidad y la confianza de los entrenadores que han estado en el equipo universitario. Malcorra y Barrera por fuera tienen muchísima pegada. Conocemos a Pablo Barrera, que a pesar de su edad es un hombre que conoce muy bien el fútbol mexicano y se la sabe de todas, incluso con experiencia europea. Y arriba Juan Manuel Iturbe, el paraguayo, y también Carlos González, el otro guaraní. Esta dupla, uno rapidísimo, es Juan Manuel Iturbe, que se pega muy bien a los costados, lo conocemos con experiencia incluso también en el fútbol europeo, en la Roma, y Carlos González, que es uno de los mejores 9 del fútbol mexicano, tanto por arriba como por abajo, representa siempre una amenaza para los rivales. Esta es la pizarra de los Pumas, continuamos con más.
Como siempre, Enrique Noriega, nuestro compañero, desmenuzando las fortalezas, las debilidades y cómo juega el rival de esta noche del Guadalajara, que como bien analiza y coincido, si bien es cierto es un cuadro que no anota mucho, no es espectacular, es muy compacto, es muy férreo defensivamente y es muy difícil que le puedan abrir los espacios ahora.
Guadalajara definitivamente tiene que imponer su estilo de juego sí o sí, empezar a mostrar lo que tiene, empezar a convertirse en ese rival que puede acceder a la siguiente fase, Fernando.
Así es, y lo vimos en video, lo vimos grabado, pero ahora lo tenemos en vivo y en directo ya allá arriba en el estudio con las alineaciones del partido. Señor Enrique Noriega, ¿cómo está usted? Muy buenas noches.
Compañeros, con el gusto de siempre, ya lo saben, de estar con ustedes, lucen radiantes como es de costumbre. Gracias por acompañarnos a todo el auditorio. Tenemos las alineaciones de este partido, los 11 que paran ambos entrenadores. Ojo que hay cambios interesantes de cara a los partidos anteriores. Toño Rodríguez en la portería con el número 4 por el Guadalajara, lateral por derecha Jesús Chapo Sánchez, 21 Irán Mier, novedad en la liga, titular el 21, Osvaldo Alaní, central por la izquierda. El lateral por esa misma banda por la izquierda será Alejandro Mayorga, medio campo con Miguel Ángel El Pocho Ponce, también Jesús Molina siendo el escudo, el capitán. Más adelante Dieter Villalpando, interior por la derecha con el número 6, por uno de los costados Isaac El Cone Brizuela, por la derecha evidentemente con el 11, Alexis Vega por el otro lado con el 7, y en punta en el eje del ataque Alan Pulido, el hombre gol de esta escuadra que lleva 6 hasta el momento en el torneo, y el entrenador es Luis Fernando Tena, el entrenador histórico del fútbol mexicano. Los Pumas de la UNAM van con Alfredo El Pollo Saldívar, un habitual en el 11 de cualquier entrenador que pase por aquí. Alan Mozo, lateral por derecha, incluso considerado por el Tata Martino. Luis Quintana, defensa central con el número 4. Nicolás Freire con el 18, defensa central argentino. Jason Angulo, el 23, lateral izquierdo. Andrés Iniestra, el Lobo en el medio campo. No es Iniesta, es Iniestra. El 22, Juan Pablo Vigón, recién llegado algunos meses a los Pumas. Con el 12, Ignacio Malcorra, un poco más adelante de lo habitual. Brian Figueroa, novedad con el número 14. Está Juan Manuel Iturbe, el paraguayo, que es un velocista. Y también Carlos González, uno de los mejores 9 de la liga. Y el entrenador es Miguel González, el español. Ahí está entonces la alineación de los Pumas. También estuvo la del Guadalajara. Varios ajustes, varias modificaciones de cara a este compromiso. Continuamos con más, amigos. Se viene un partido interesante entre los Pumas y el Guadalajara.
Así es, gracias, Quique. Pues ya lo decías, 3 movimientos de Luis Fernando Tena y uno de Miguel González Michel, el español. Partido, ya lo hemos estado comentando, Aram, interesante. Pues Guadalajara tiene que dedicarse a lo suyo, a regresar a ser un equipo compacto, un equipo que obviamente apriete al rival, que se vea ese desgaste físico que habituaba a tener, que asfixiaba a los rivales, sobre todo aquí en el Estadio Akron. Y ojo, tiene que ser efectivo porque genera oportunidades de gol, pero en muchas ocasiones ese último toque es el que está faltando.
Tener equilibrio en cada una de sus líneas, tener mucho cuidado dentro de su primera línea, la defensa no puede dejar espacios, tenía que estar atento con la marcación. Definitivamente muchas cosas tienen los jugadores, tienen la calidad, el nivel para poder manejar este juego. Ahora simplemente también es la confianza para lograr y llevarlo al terreno de juego, todo lo que se practica, todo lo que tiene cada uno de los jugadores y por lo que portan cada uno de los escudos, este escudo tan importante que representa a México.
Así es, como bien lo ha comentado en las conferencias de prensa que ha tenido el profe Tena, cierto es, y es la realidad, el Guadalajara está rezagado en la tabla, solo con 11 puntos, pero al día de hoy, Ara, sigue de cierta manera dependiendo de sí mismo, porque quedan 4 partidos en casa y 3 salidas, tienes que ganar.
Sí,
o sea,
sí,
no hay
matemáticamente todavía da.
No, hay posibilidad y
claro,
de depender de ti mismo. O
claro,
sea, obviamente casi tienes que rayar la perfección, pero está en tus manos.
Exactamente, así es que bueno, Guadalajara tiene que hacer lo que sabe hacer el día de hoy frente a Pumas y sacar así los 3 puntos. ¿Qué te parece si vamos ya a hablar con nuestro demás equipo dentro de Chivas TV, los narradores, nuestros analistas? ¿Qué equipazo tenemos, Fernando?
¿Qué equipazo? Ya están ahí arriba. Digo, desafortunadamente está el señor Noriega ahí también, pero ya al jefe de jefes.
¿Cómo? Pero sí aporta.
No, sí se aporta. Sí, porque
¿Cómo?
tenemos invitado de lujo. Antes que nada, el jefe Adán Vega Barajas, Gabo Sainz, Enrique Noriega, que lo queremos mucho. Ya sabes que solo es un troleo sano entre compañeros. Invitadísimo de lujo, ex árbitro internacional, el señor Paul Delgadillo. Compañeros, ¿cómo están? Buenas noches.
¿Cómo están, compañeros? Ya estoy como un rayo ahora en otra parte.
Qué rápido se va usted,
Un placer estar con ustedes. Pero antes que nada, antes de entrar en detalles, Gabo, hay que presentar a nuestro invitadazo de lujo, Paul Delgadillo, uno de los árbitros más importantes que ha tenido este país. Paul Delgadillo, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches.
Mi querido Enrique, gracias por esta invitación y un gusto estar con ustedes.
Igualmente.
Saludos a la cancha,
Cuidado, porque el señor trae las
preparado,
tarjetas, ahí están.
El que la riegue.
Una vez, que se vaya.
Que la riegue.
Aquí está, mira.
De una vez. Yo creo que Meño va a ser de los primeros, pero ahí están, mira, ahí están.
Vámonos.
Ahí están. Fuímonos, así que hay que tener cuidado, Adán Vega Barajas.
Aquí estamos, listos para este compromiso.
Preparados para la cancha.
De acuerdo a lo que hemos observado ya en las alineaciones, pues parece que hay una amalgama ahí de lo que fue el partido contra América y contra Correcaminos, compañeros.
Así es, creo que el partido contra el América, como bien lo dice el jefe, y el partido de Copa fueron totalmente realidades distintas, hay que decirlo, el rival también es bastante diferente, pero aún así creo que el martes ya había venido Correcaminos a jugar aquí al Estadio Akron. Lo que vimos el martes deja sensaciones agradables. También hubo lapsos del partido en donde quedan dudas, pero creo que el trámite en general y el balance general podría ser positivo para el Guadalajara.
Sí, porque aquí el Correcaminos vino a ganar, recordarás, ¿no? Con Egidio Arévalo. Y bueno, allá le devolvieron la dosis y Guadalajara está en zona buena, en zona de calificación. Tiene partido todavía en la comarca lagunera. Yo creo que es una motivación, un paliativo, ¿no? Después de lo sucedido en la capital de la República. Pero qué mejor motivación que estar aquí, Gabo, los Pumas.
Sin duda, un equipo grande como los Pumas también. Un partido que va a ser muy importante para el equipo de Guadalajara, no dejar ir puntos. Y bueno, vamos a ver esta entrevista con Toño Rodríguez de cara a este partido que se va a jugar en la cancha del Akron.
sido semanas de mucho movimiento, muchos partidos, fecha doble, copa, cambio de entrenador. Más allá de verlo como una obsesión, sabemos que es algo que el equipo, por la forma en la que trabajamos, ya merece una victoria este equipo. Y porque, hombre, estamos en un club que merece triunfos, ¿no? Por supuesto que nosotros somos los primeros en estar incómodos en la situación en la que estamos, pero somos los primeros que estamos trabajando más fuerte para poder no solamente cambiar esta posición, sino también cambiar los aires. Entonces, estamos tranquilos y serenos en el aspecto de que hay que enfrentar este partido sin querer comerse el mundo, que vamos ante un gran rival, contra un gran entrenador, muy bien dirigido, un equipo compacto, un equipo que sabe jugar bien al fútbol, pero sí con la certeza y la confianza de que tenemos un equipo que puede ganar ante cualquier rival. Sabemos que estamos enfrentando al rival que tiene la mejor defensa del torneo. Es un equipo compacto, es un equipo que se sabe encerrar muy bien. Considero yo tienen a uno de los mejores delanteros de la liga. Tienen muy buenos cobradores, muy buenos pateadores de larga distancia. Entonces, el equipo tiene que ser paciente, tenemos que saber tener el balón, no desesperarnos y buscar atacar las pocas, pero las deficiencias que hemos visto en Pumas. Y por supuesto intentar anular estas fortalezas que ellos tienen, ¿no? Porque es gente capaz hacia adelante. Entonces, creo que el partido lo estamos planeando de esa manera. No va a ser nada fácil, pero sabemos que tenemos un equipo lo suficientemente capaz como para el día de mañana poder ganar.
Muy bien, se mete a zona de calificación Pumas en la jornada anterior y poco a poco ha tenido altibajos, pero poco a poco vienen consolidándose dentro de lo que quiere el español Michel.
Es correcto, Gabo, perdón. Toño Rodríguez, bastante analítico, bastante pensante a la hora de analizar a los Pumas desde atrás hacia adelante, hablando cosas muy buenas de Carlos González, por ejemplo, que es uno de los hombres que constantemente tendrá de cara a la portería. Entonces Toño Rodríguez seguramente estudió y planteó muy bien este partido dentro de su cabeza, también en los entrenamientos, así que será un duelo bastante interesante.
Y con Pablo Enrique Delgadillo,
claro.
Jorge Isaac Rojas, ¿qué vamos a tener hoy, Paul?
Es un árbitro que se caracteriza por una gran capacidad física, creo que no va a tener ningún problema, que es un partido que los dos equipos muestran esa eficiencia. Veremos si no es de los que utilizan el VAR esta jornada en el torneo regular. Ha sido constante en este sentido. Esperemos que no influya en el resultado.
Ya está, le dicen el barista, pero no, estoy con Paul. Ojalá hoy sea tranquilo, ¿no, compañeros?
Hay que tener cuidado con esas cuestiones del VAR, porque hace unos minutos en el América Cruz Azul hubo una patada arterísima, o sea, una patada que te pudo haber dejado fuera de circulación un jugador de Cruz Azul, no recuerdo quién fue exactamente, ni siquiera la revisó el VAR, ni siquiera la revisó el VAR. Hay que ver cómo se mide esto también en este partido. Pero mientras, antes de seguir platicando un poco de este tema, tenemos una cápsula bastante interesante con Eric Roqueta, uno de los preparadores físicos y elementos también fundamentales que estuvo en el Fútbol Club Barcelona y está en el Fútbol Club Barcelona y es parte de la alianza que existe entre el Club Deportivo Guadalajara y los catalanes. Vamos a verla.
A mí cuando se me planteó realmente no dudé para nada en querer venir para acá y poder. Yo creo que es algo que va a ser muy gratificante porque al final estás ayudando a crecer una estructura, a un club histórico y nos tenemos que plantear objetivos muy grandes. Lo primero es que es consciente de ello, ¿no? De que hay una necesidad y a partir de aquí tiene que poner todas las herramientas a disposición para poder ejercer y ejecutar este cambio, ¿no? Ya empezando pues, a nivel de infraestructuras, porque hay cosas que hay que cambiar, y luego pues, sistema de trabajo, metodología, que también tiene que estar más acorde a lo que son las exigencias y necesidades del fútbol actual. Y sobre todo para importar lo que es la metodología y el sistema de trabajo a nivel condicional del Fútbol Club Barcelona al Chivas de Guadalajara. En el proceso de entrenamiento, al menos desde nuestra manera de entender, hay dos tipos de entrenamiento, ¿no? El coadyuvante, que es más el trabajo de gimnasio y prevención, y luego el optimizador, que es el específico en campo. Tenemos que dar un plus en el coadyuvante en cuanto a estructurar muy bien este trabajo de fuerza, a que cada vez hay más exigencia en el fútbol. Por la densidad tan grande competitiva que tiene, pues hay que hacer un muy buen trabajo de prevención de lesiones y esto lo haremos a nivel coadyuvante. Y a nivel optimizador, Yo creo que la clave está en integrar todas las estructuras, ¿no? La táctica, la condicional, la coordinativa, técnica, psicológica, intentar hacer este mix en todas las tareas y hacerlo de forma específica porque al final yo creo que el deportista es un todo, no se puede separar y estas mismas estructuras tienen que ir integradas en este proceso de entrenamiento optimizador. Dentro de las sinergias o relaciones que puedan haber dentro del vestuario, entre ellos esté mucho más conjuntado que no en otros equipos donde hay disparidad de jugadores, de razas y que al final, pues, quieras o no, se pueden hacer subgrupos. Y yo por lo que me he encontrado aquí, al menos por lo poco que llevo, sobre todo porque como estoy también en el primer equipo, veo que hay un equipo, o sea, que entre ellos los jugadores hay muy buena relación, hay cohesión y esto precisamente, seguramente que el hecho de que sean todos mexicanos ayuda a esta dinámica.
Pues qué combinación, ¿no? Esta noche a través de Chivas TV Barcelona y del otro lado Real Madrid. Miguel González Michel trabajó mucho en las fuerzas básicas del Real Madrid, incluso lo tuvimos aquí en torneos internacionales, en esas filas y esa combinación a través de Chivas TV, compañeros.
Es correcto, platicábamos con el profesor Roqueta hace unos días, Fernando Iacardi y un servidor, y la verdad es que es muy interesante esta unión que existe entre el Guadalajara y el Barcelona, que ayudará a optimizar algunas áreas de oportunidad que existen aquí en el club con ayuda del equipo catalán, que sabemos que es uno de sus fuertes.
Vamos al vestidor, Quique.
De una vez. Bueno, aquí está el vestidor del Club Deportivo Guadalajara, la arenga previa a este partido con Luis Fernando Tena. Conocemos lo importante que es este entrenador en el aspecto anímico. Lo vimos clarísimo, sí,
la voz cantante.
Lo vimos clarísimo en los Juegos Olímpicos, jefe, las arengas que dio previo a los partidos definitivos contra Senegal y Brasil. Impresionante, ¿eh?
Y los conoce, ¿no? A varios de ellos los tuvo precisamente en esas formaciones de los Juegos Olímpicos. Luis Fernando Tena, en los 80s, ustedes yo creo que no habían nacido, pero
¿qué pasó?
ahí se hizo técnico Luis Fernando, él nos lo ha platicado, siempre estaba en la banca, o sea.
¡Qué barbaridad!
Eso lo dice él, pues.
Por cierto, esto es exclusivo, esto nadie lo tiene, esto es solamente a través de Chivas TV, es una exclusiva para que usted lo valore y también entienda que tener Chivas TV por 111 pesos al mes, pues bueno, le va a traer esto, así de fácil.
Ahí están preparando, vamos a tapar el pizarrón porque luego se dan cuenta el rival, ¿no?
Sí, vamos a adelantar aquí la estrategia, ¿no? La intimidad del fútbol, lo que se le conoce como la intimidad del fútbol.
Así es. Algo especial también para los árbitros, ¿no? En su momento previo al partido tienen que hacer cónclave, ¿no?
Sí, por supuesto, es cuando hablas con tus compañeros y pides que sea un gran equipo de trabajo y cada uno tiene que hacer su labor, aunque es importante, ¿no? Que todos estén compenetrados a la hora que Jorge Rojas dé el silbatazo inicial.
Y Guadalajara, bueno, ya lleva 3 expulsados, que se concentren porque, sobre todo, ¿no? En el partido anterior, cuando habían reaccionado con uno menos, y bueno, vino la expulsión de Cervantes. Así que deben estar muy, muy atentos en esta situación.
Va a ser un deleite seguramente escuchar a Luis Fernando Tena en una de sus primeras charlas como entrenador del Guadalajara, porque recordemos que solo dirigió ante el América y Correcaminos. Ahora es el primero en casa que tendrá Tena aquí en el Estadio Akron, su debut. A ver.
La pelota detenida. En casa siempre hemos sido un equipo fuerte y Y hoy lo vamos a hacer desde que pita el árbitro. Es el momento exacto para empezar a surgir, para empezar a resurgir, para empezar a levantar. La imagen y el prestigio es lo primero que tenemos que defender, es lo más valioso que tenemos. Desde que pita el árbitro, salimos sobre ellos sin perder el orden, a tirar golpes, a buscar los goles. Dale. Gran momento, gran oportunidad, y en casa siempre hemos sido muy fuertes. Y hoy lo vamos a hacer más. Vamos, carajo.
Dale, muchachos, es una cosa. Dos emociones nos dominan a los seres humanos, a las personas. El miedo y el deseo, viejo. Nosotros decidimos qué queremos. El miedo, que no queremos sobresalir, que tiramos la toalla a la primera, o el deseo de ganar y de trascender. Estamos pasando un momento difícil, sí. ¿Y que nos vamos a quedar llorando? No. Hoy vamos a ganar y tenemos que mentalizarnos en que de aquí para adelante vamos a ganar. Deseo de
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en tentación y líbranos del mal. Dios te salve María, llena de gracia, el Señor es contigo. Bendita eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros los pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. ¡Dale!
Bueno, estamos de regreso, amigos de Chivas TV, y rapidito vamos a ir al calor del rebaño, a ver a Mauro Hernández y Fernando de la Mora.
Coca-Cola presenta.
Hoy en este calor del rebaño, Chivas recibe a Pumas, mi Fer.
Así es, Mauro, estamos nerviosos por el partido, pero oye, primero, yo tengo una queja.
A ver, ¿cuál queja?
A ti sí te llevaron a Clásico. Yo quiero saber cómo te fue.
Pues, ¿cómo nos fue? ¿Sí sabes cómo nos fue? ¿Quieres ver cómo me fue? Bueno, antes del partido todo era fiesta y todo era alegría. Vamos a verlo si quieres.
Vamos a verlo.
¡Dale, dale, dale, rebaño! ¡Dale, dale, dale, rebaño! ¡Dale! ¿Quién es? ¿Qué es tuyo? ¿Es tu papá o qué?
No, es amigo.
¿Por qué le pone cuerno?
No, somos amistad. Esto no es una guerra. No, esto es fútbol y el que gane bienvenido.
Qué bonito que usted con la experiencia y todo hable así, porque eso es lo que hace falta, que nos llevemos bien entre todos.
No, todo es fútbol, es deporte, es pasión y hasta ahí nada más. Y el que gane, bienvenido.
Mira, con tanta pasión, dense un beso, por favor, con tanta pasión. ¿Qué pasó? Pues es que como que se les da, ¿no?
Sí, es que son de Chivas, los Chivas.
¡A ustedes!
Y arriba las Chivas, de verdad. Aficionado por siempre.
Pues tenemos la mejor plantilla de México.
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que ganaron?
La última vez que ganamos contra el Chivas.
Va
a ganar mi América.
Va a ganar mi Chivas.
No. ¿Cuánto?
¿Le vas a poner villanos o qué? ¿Qué?
Ya no nos vamos
de a barba. Pues no te sale. ¡Chivas! ¡Chivas! ¡Ole! ¡Chivas! ¡Chivas! ¡Dale! ¡Rebaño! Este es el calor de rebaño. Soy Mauro Hernández. Y síguenos en Chivas TV. ¡Hoy gana Chivas!
Yo sé que andas triste, Mauro, pero te voy a dar una noticia. Hoy vamos a sacar la casta. Chavos, vamos a darle.
Ayúdenme. Hoy tiene que ganar Chivas. Hoy gana Chivas.
Hoy gana Chivas.
A huevo, ¿cómo no?
¿Cuánto ganamos hoy?
2-1.
¿2-1 le ganamos a los Pumas o qué?
Yo digo que 3-1.
3-1. Cuénteme qué trae ahí.
Es el acto oficial de Rojiblanca Nacimiento, ¿no?
Ahí está ya.
Muy bien.
Lo tenemos por acá y mira, por acá ya lo tenemos, allá. ¡Chivas! ¡Chivas! ¡Chivas!
¡Hoy gana Chivas! Vamos contra esos gatitos.
Hay que ganar y ganar. Esa es la clave. Para Guadalajara ya no hay otra. A partir de este momento, o sea, las palabras del capitán, ojalá hagan mella, ¿no?, en sus compañeros.
Sí, creo que se percibe un buen ambiente en el vestidor y bueno, el mensaje es que independientemente de las formas, el resultado es lo primordial, lo que tiene que prevalecer después de los 90 minutos.
Claro, lo más importante son los 3 puntos. Están buscando el Guadalajara quedarse todavía con la situación que depende todavía de ellos, Enrique. Si hay una situación muy complicada por los demás equipos, los que están arriba, tienen que dejar también de hacer cosas, pero el Guadalajara haciendo los puntos que le quedan, prácticamente rayando en la perfección, pero buscando los puntos podría calificar.
Es correcto. O sea, yo creo, y creo que varios estarán de acuerdo en que la actitud no lo es todo en el campo, la actitud no lo es todo. A veces también necesitas tener el temple, la sangre fría, la técnica, evidentemente, el trabajo táctico, pero si no hay actitud, si no hay esas ganas, ese deseo que decía Jesús Molina, difícilmente vas a poder potenciar los demás aspectos. Igual al revés, si tienes mucha actitud, si eres un hombre muy echado para adelante, pero lo demás te falta, también te puedes quedar corto. Entonces tiene que existir un balance. Creo que el Guadalajara tiene elementos importantes en el 11 como para poder resurgir de donde está. Creo que tiene una plantilla para estar mucho más arriba de lo que está, así que en cualquier momento este equipo deberá resurgir y de eso depende una estabilidad en todos los aspectos.
Y del otro lado, ¿no? Con los Pumas, pues vienen más o menos con la misma historia. Pumas no calificó en el torneo anterior, han sido actuaciones flojas de los universitarios, o sea que los dos con ese nerviosismo, un poco más desahogados los capitalinos, porque los últimos resultados y sobre todo, ¿no? En el último dieron cátedra frente al líder. Por cierto, hay noticias en cuanto a marcadores, ya estaremos conociendo más adelante. En este momento también están a punto de iniciar otros 2 juegos en esta jornada.
Efectivamente, hubo unos marcadores bastante llamativos, ¿no, compañeros? El día de hoy hace un ratito.
Sí. Pues bueno, los Tigres ganaron 4-0, ¿no?
Sí, 4-0. Y señor Paul Delgadillo, ¿cómo fue el clásico joven allá en la Ciudad de México?
Cruz Azul dio la sorpresa y ganó 5-2. No porque haya ganado, sino porque metió 5.
Exactamente.
No, también porque haya ganado, porque se ve una playera amarilla enfrente y le da rival, ¿no? Claro.
Vamos al protocolo.
Damos la bienvenida a los equipos Pumas y Chivas.
Tu vida no es un juego. Tu vida no es un juego. Revísate. Juega limpio. Siente tu liga.
Sagrado. And there it is. It's Pumas against Chivas, Chivas against Pumas. Ramses Sandoval with you, Nico Cantor, and Aranza Fernandez for this one. As we get set for what's going to be a sensational matchup once again, it's an absolute pleasure, an honor to be with Chivas of Guadalajara in the United States, an historic club amongst Mexico, of course, the continent, and at the world stage. The referee of the matchup, Jorge Isaac Rojas, with the captains. It's Jesus Molina, and of course, it's Victor Malcorra for La UNAM. You are with us in the United States, you are with us in English, and in a second we will bring on Nico Cantor and Aranza Fernandez as we are in the pre-game setup. The referees to be with Jorge Isaac Rojas, assistant number 1 Alberto Morin Mendez, assistant number 2 Jorge Antonio Sanchez, the fourth official is Edgar Ulises Rangel. VAR activated, and before the kickoff, I will salute you, Nico Cantor.
Ramses, it's a pleasure to be alongside you once again for another beautiful night of soccer. Chivas against Pumas, and there's a lot to be played for in this game, given how Chivas is doing, given the Clásico Nacional loss that they're coming off of. Picked it up a little bit midweek against Correcaminos, in which the headline was Oribe Peralta scoring his first goal in about a year, his first goal in a Chivas uniform. On the other hand, Pumas have just toppled the best team in Liga MX, Santos, last week, and perhaps started a poor form for them. The Northerners coming off today, a brutal loss to Tigres, as a matter of fact, and Luis Fernando Tena is now Chivas' coach, and maybe the Clásico Nacional might not have been a parameter given everything that was going on, the recent signing, the just 24 hours he had to work with the team. He's now had a full week, and if there's a moment that Chivas needs to pick up steam, it is today. Jornada 13, 13 weeks in. We're playing up until 18, and the season has reached a critical moment if Chivas dreams of Liguilla.
We await the order from Jorge Isaac Rojas to play the beautiful game. We will go through the lineups once again when it starts. Thank you so much for being with us. It's Chivas TV in English, and we are on with the first 45 minutes of this one from El Akron in La Perla Tapatía. Chivas Rayadas of Guadalajara in their traditional red and white. Pumas of UNAM wearing the blue and gold. That is also traditional to them. Now I go to the pitch and I say hi to our field reporter, Aranza Fernandez, who does a fantastic job week in, week out. How are the teams down on the pitch, and what is the atmosphere like?
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be with you. And well, I can tell you this is a great atmosphere. The supporters from Chivas are trusting that the team can still go ahead to the next stage. Mathematically, they can do it, but they need to understand that they can't lose any point. So for this lineup today, Tena decides to do 4 changes on the lineup for modifications. Jesus Sanchez starts, Irán Mier, Alejandro Mayorga, and Dieter Villalpando. Remembering that on the last match, Briseño and Cervantes were suspended.
You're absolutely right. The shot comes from outside of the box, close, but not close enough. That was Alexis Vega. Very complete report, Nico, from Aranza down on the pitch. They are mathematically alive, and when you look at it, yes, it is complicated, but it starts tonight. Chivas of Guadalajara have 7 games left. You need about 25, 26 points to qualify. They have 11. Yes, if they would win 5 of 7, the Chiva hermano, the Chiva brother, could begin to dream of a bizarre qualification into the Liguilla. They're still alive.
It would be quite incredible for Chivas to make the postseason, just given the form. Today, you got to take it as a stepping stone, and I'll let you finish.
Watch Pumas of UNAM down on the right. It's the opportunity for Alan Bozo. On that section of the pitch, could go inside. He does. Second pole service. Looks long, is long. It's not the best. Controlled on the left side of the pitch. And here's the opportunity for Iturbe. And the international of Paraguay looking to go into the box. Looks like a foul. It is a foul. And it is called by Jorge Isaac Rojas. Committed out defensively by Dieter Villalpando.
And Michel Gonzalez likes the call. Villalpando bringing down Bigon, and it's not a smart foul. He gets there late, and Bigon gets hit. It's properly called by Jorge Isaac Rojas.
Yeah, the referee was pretty close.
And now Pumas, yeah, he got a good eye and it was properly called. Pumas have a set-piece play and can cause danger straight out of the gates. About 3 minutes played, and off the set piece, they have a couple of interesting players that can pick out this man's cross, Nacho Malcorra, who has already scored a fantastic free kick goal on the season, his only goal of the season, but this is definitely going to come in the form of a cross. Watch out for the man up top, Carlos Gonzalez.
Watch also the straight shot into goal. He's scored some unbelievable strikes from distance. It is Malcorra, and it is also Brian Figueroa setting up off the right boot. Figueroa is going to go second pole service.
Now, this
no
wasn't
problem
even
whatsoever
close, but these
for
are the
Jose
kind
Antonio
of
Rodriguez
opportunities
and company.
that Chivas
How are the managers
can
early
give to
on
the
down on
other
the pitch,
teams.
Aranza? Here is Chivas of Guadalajara on the far side, dominating the ball. The opportunity for los rojiblancos. No foul called, as trying to keep control of that ball was Alejandro Mayorga. It's a throw-in, and it is going to be for La UNAM. Alan Mozo recently called during the week by El Tata Martino to play against Trinidad and Tobago, has earned his shot to be in the Nations League this upcoming week.
Along with Gurdinho today on the bench for Chivas, the only two players in this stadium called up to the national team.
Here is Chivas of Guadalajara from the back. The opportunity again for los rojiblancos. It's Ponce. And now we swing it out near side for Jesus Sanchez. Defended again. Midsection opportunity. Jason Angulo couldn't get there in time. The Colombian out of Cali, Colombia. It's still Pumas of UNAM ball. Very close there to Michel, 56-year-old manager born in Madrid. Has managed very competitive clubs like Olympiacos, like Sevilla. In others, it continues to be a throw in on the near side for Pumas. Into the box, looking for Carlos Gonzalez, headed back into very close section of the penalty kick spot. No problem for Toño Rodriguez, who's able to keep the ball.
Chivas is going to have to be really careful with the wing backs of Pumas, in Angulo and in Mozo. They love to get high up the field. So Mayorga, depending on where he is going to have to watch out. We had our doubts of what was the system that Chivas was going to implement. If it was a 5-man backline or a 4-man backline. At the moment, it does look like Mayorga is the third center back, and Ponce is pushed out wide to the left as the game wears on. We'll get a better look of what Luis Fernando Tenas' 11 looks like. But given that Pumas is such a compact team and they get up and down with numbers, having a sturdy backline for Tena would make sense.
Mistake out of the back by Pumas. Chivas of Guadalajara winning that ball. The opportunity for Alan Pulido. Can pivot and turn on time, although referee of the matchup calls it the other way, as Alfredo Saldívar will dominate the ball. Goalkeeper, 29 years of age, 100-plus games with Pumas of UNAM. A late bloomer, if you will, after a ton of time with Bernal, with Picolín Palacios, obviously as the owners of that position. The ambience thus far, how are the fans enjoying the game at Estadio
They're
Akron,
totally
Aranza?
enjoying it. You can hear all the supporters yelling, shouting, trying to support their team.
Yeah, they are, and that is what Chivas of Guadalajara has, and the Chiva Hermanos. And the fact that they're able to come into Akron today after losing a very tough game a weekend ago, El Super Clásico, but then bouncing back in Copa MX, as Nico alluded to earlier, and now trying to pick up an important win at home against Los Pumas. Here is Chivas again. Watch Pulido trying to put inside a run. Doesn't get it this time. Dominated into the near side. A long ball played. Switched the pitch, but Conejito Brizuela can control it. And it's not the best ball either for the former Toluca man, Nico. And his teammate, unfortunately, knows it.
Either way, you see Guadalajara from the get-go trying to seize that initiative with possession. It's good to see, trying to free up pressure on the other side, but obviously precision is where this all comes down to. And against this Pumas team that is also vying for a Liguilla spot, 8th place on the season, coming into Jornada 13 with 17 points, especially coming off of an important win. It's going to be tough, and they're going to need the best version of El Rebaño today to beat this Pumas side.
Watch Mozo trying to get in behind him. Miguel Angel Ponce, very close for Mozo. Ponce controls it, but then complicates himself, comes back out of his line again. And the mistake, once again, unforced from Guadalajara. Mayorga losing the ball. Watch now Carlos Gonzalez go down. No foul call. The Guarani still on the ground, not getting up. Guadalajara will play it on. Mistakenly given out. Back again from Pulido. Center section of the park. Here we go. Numbers for El Guadalajara. And here is Brizuela still on it. Opening over on the right side and finding Sanchez. Back to Brizuela. Brizuela going inside. Wants it back. It's not going to get it. Good cut through. Splitting the defense. Sanchez can have a cross. He does, but it's not the best opportunity. It's going to be a goal kick for Alfredo Saldívar and company.
We were talking about possession, Ramses, and what just happened speaks a lot to Dieter Villalpando's position. He starts deep. He's usually more of an attacking player, but this 5-2-3 system allows Villalpando to construct from the back, to be one of the very first outlets. And he began this play very close to his box, and he hit that pass down the right-hand side for Chivas to try to create service inside of the box. Villalpando's going to be one of the most critical players in this system for Tenan throughout the entire night.
With 9 minutes gone, Aranza, it's been a compact game, tied in center of the pitch. I'll go to you in a second because the ball was chipped up top looking for Alan Pulido, not that time. How is El Flaco Tena 10 minutes in, knowing that this is an important game?
Well, he has been analyzing, totally analyzing. I think every time he has the opportunity to speak to some of his players, he does it. But by this time, it's more about, I think Chivas needs leadership. Just like you were saying, Villalpando has been one of the trusted men from Tena. He is one of the men that gives this balance to the team. Now he needs results. He needs results. Tena is looking forward for that.
Sure, and now he's had a little bit more time to work. It was unfair to ask him to do something in 48 hours after Tomás Boy was essentially let go after that 2-4 loss to Pachuca. And even more to that, Nico, with the Super Clásico in the offing. You can make many changes. You can work tactically. Now he's had more time to work and certainly make some changes down on the starting lineup that's taken away from los Pumas of UNAM.
Well, Luis Fernando Tena signed an 8-game contract. So only until the end of the season. So results obviously have to be played in his favor. If Luis Fernando Tena does a convincing job, I think he'll stay, but results are key, especially in such short seasons like in Liga MX.
Ponce to Brizuela. Brizuela first time. Here's Alan Pulido. Looks to pivot and turn. Goes back. Molina plays out to the left. The opportunity now for Chivas, putting Pumas in the back. A shot from way out. Oh, and that is just off target. That is an opportunity well taken from Dieter Villalpando. We were just speaking of the 28-year-old former Atlas of Guadalajara, product of los Tuzos. And with that, now Guadalajara, Nico, balancing things out a little bit more. It was Pumas who took the ball away from them in the initial moments, in the initial minutes of this game.
You used a good word that Aranza also mentioned, and I think I'm going to make an allusion to that because Villalpando, what he offers to this team is balance, and that needs to be kept throughout 90 minutes, and he can find those links with his attacking players, and it's got to be Vega who comes up in big moments. It's got to be Pulido who comes up in big moments. And if Villalpando can find those links, picking up Brizuela and even the wingbacks on runs, it's going to be a good night for him.
Looks like a foul not called by the referee. Going down was Vega, who now fights for the ball. It's not going to get there in time. The former Toluca. Good pressure. Saldívar needs to get rid of it. Doesn't want to know anything of that. And all the way back to the other goalkeeper, Jose Toño Rodriguez. By the way, shout out to him, a good friend of mine, huge Miami Dolphins fan, Jose Toño Rodriguez. We actually went to a game a couple of years ago here in Miami at the moment. Here is Chivas of Guadalajara losing the ball in the midsection of the ballpark. Won again by Chivas, but with a foul.
Another foul.
Molina can't
Yes,
believe it.
another foul committed to the number 22, Juan Pablo Vigón from Pumas. Once again.
Yeah, and the captain can't believe it. Aranza, from down there, what was your vision like? We know Molina's a physical player. And Vigón goes down, sells it well, and the referee calls it.
Yeah, this was totally a physical play. The referee decides not to do anything more about it. Now, just...
We'll come back to you. Gonzalez goes inside. Oh, Nico, I thought he could have gone straight to goal. The Paraguayan decides to try to play it back inside to Iturbe.
What a ball over the top. Gonzalez should have definitely taken that himself. I think he saw a runner coming in, but he decided, well, to try to pick out a player as we get a booking right now. It's going to be for Quintana. That's not good news for Pumas, having your center back booked so early, just 14 minutes in. But it did seem like Pulido was springing free. It was a great ball, properly called by Jorge Isaac Rojas, coming right off of a play that Pumas seemed to have wasted.
And I'll go to Aranza in a second on the pitch, because Michel certainly not like that booking to one of his central defenders right out of the bat. And we'll see how Saldívar wants to set up his wall as two men line up, now only one. Of course, we know that Miguel Angel Ponce is the specialist, very good free kick taker, a former Toluca, former Necaxa, and a former 2012 gold winner in London against Brazil with Tena for the Mexican national team. Second pull service, no problem whatsoever. But yellow card for Quintana, and the Pumas manager, Michel, probably did not like that very, very much.
Not at all, but we need to understand something. This match is going to be physical because of what it has been played and the 3 points that each team needs.
Certainly, we can agree with that, because Chivas needs to win, and we all know why. If they want to have even just the smallest pinch of hope to make the Liguilla this year, to bring a smile to their fans, and Pumas of UNAM too, if they want to stay in that top 8. We know there's a lot of teams outside looking in that want to get in.
And it's tight.
Yeah, pretty tight. Now, if you let me comment...
Second foul, that time by Molina.
If you let me
Go
comment
ahead,
this, been analyzing a little bit Tena during this match, the pressure is on him, and it's about what you were saying. Sometimes the Mexican football doesn't understand that this is about process. When a new manager comes in, they need to understand that it's a process, it's going to take time, and Chivas is on that process right now, but still has the opportunity to do something with it.
No question, and trust the process. That is really the way you have to look at it in any sport. Pumas is on the verge. They're 8th right now with 17 points, but have Atlas and Xolos behind them with the same amount of points, minor goal difference. This is how important this game is for the UNAM squad. Chipped up top, given away. Given away, present with a bow included for Jose Toño Rodriguez. He will keep that and come up his back of the line. And ladies and gentlemen, it's 16 in change gone. 0-0 from Akron, Chivas and Pumas.
Set piece plays are going to be key for both teams, and Pumas and Chivas have just wasted 2 plays. They couldn't pick out teammates on the other end of crosses. And especially for Chivas, who perhaps we can say is the least favorite team coming into this game, simply because of where they are on the table. Taking advantage of these plays can win you games. So lucky for them, Pumas squandered an opportunity, and vice versa 5 minutes ago, less 3 minutes ago, in which Chivas hit a ball wide.
And to add to that, Pumas is in good form. They haven't lost in 4 games, 2 wins, 2 ties. They've beaten Toluca and Santos and picked up important draws against América and Cruz Azul. Those are 4 very strong teams as they look to take on Chivas of Guadalajara tonight. For El Rebaño, we know that they have been struggling as of late with 3 losses consecutively. The last win was El Clásico Tapatío against Atlas of Guadalajara here in this stadium. Here's a ball chipped up top, trying to find Alexis Vega, who is not on the Tata Martino squad for Nations League, but he is with Jimmy Lozano in a different type of process, if you will, Nico, that Mexican team that is going to be very talented heading into Tokyo 2020.
Well, it's important at least for Vega to be considered at some national team level, to get minutes and to just be within the system. We just saw Chivas hit a ball over the top. I wonder how effective that's going to be, but putting the ball on the floor seems to have been more successful for them. As we see there, the ball not going through Villalpando's feet.
Another ball played into the near side. Long one looking for the boots of Victor Malcorra. Didn't get to the former Xolos of Tijuana. Won again by Chivas of Guadalajara. Dropped back by Dieter Villalpando. And now in the midsection of the park. Played into Brizuela, who goes over to the right for Sanchez. Numbers for El Guadalajara. Sanchez still on it. Thought about going far side, switching the pitch. He didn't. Pulido has it. Here's the former Olympiacos going far side and finding his teammate Ponce again. Service comes in, and that's just taken away at the last minute. If Pulido gets there in time, we would be shouting the first one for El Rebaño.
It's a good ball by Ponce, but it's an even better clearance by Quintana.
And here's Chivas, still lots of contact. Vega's in the box. He's still on it and is not able to manage it with a man right on him. Jason Angulo all over the former Diablo Rojo of Toluca. Look at this.
What a clearance.
That's a goal. That is a goal if that is not cleared.
Just as important as a goalkeeper save, that lunging tackle in the air, it was phenomenal how Quintana was able to just stay suspended in the air and time that ball perfectly. Good stuff by Ponce though. Freed up by a 1-2 and able to play Pulido into space. As soon as they find him, that can be dangerous against Pumas.
Now this is...
Here's Mosso trying to get there. It was
Sorry, this is excellent because this is a confidence that Chivas is gaining. They are creating the pockets of space to create, to go forward. So there's something going to happen if they keep on like this.
Very well put. Pockets of space they do create with the agility and the speed of guys like Vega, like Conejito Brizuela, and even Alan Pulido, who's at the tip of the box looking for that one, not played yet. Patience football now for Chivas, knocking on the door, looking for a way in and insisting. Ponce will keep it.
And what the 3-man backline allows is for Mayorga and Ponce to get forward. Right now we see Alanis and Mier, the only 2 center backs, as Mayorga tries to get involved on the build-up. He was forward just a little while ago, but he's very much involved in the build-up down the left-hand side, along with the other man down that flank, Ponce.
Long ball played into space, into the box, cleared from the back by Quintana. Molina's going to get there in time and able to intercept it. Molina, 120-plus game with the archie rival América, a former Rayado of Monterrey, 30-plus games with El Tri. What a career for him. And the captain of Chivas today and tonight at Akron against Pumas, who now controls via Iturbe. Going back and finding Bigon again, joining Pumas from Atlas this season. Sounded to go to Cruz Azul, but ended up going to Pumas of UNAM. Here's Mosso from the right, looks to go inside. That's well defended by Ponce, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Felinos. And that's Michel. Mosso will keep it. Here's a youngster, 22 years of age for the right back. Bright spot for Mexican football. Obviously for Pumas of UNAM. Looks to play it up top. Well won by Chivas. Pulido off to the races. Tries to beat Iniestra to the punch. Here's Pulido still on it. Iniestra picking him up defensively. And what will Jorge Isaac Rojas say, the referee, as we look at this?
Could have been called a foul against Chivas, but because Iturbe sunk his head into the tackle, it seems like it wasn't called. Great cover that time by Iniestra on Pulido, and Mosso's going to get an opportunity to put the ball back into play with his hands. Iniestra, a key player in this defensive performance that Pumas is going to try to put out, considering that Villalpando's pulling strings. Iniestra is going to be the man to stop him going forward, and so far he's taken care of Pulido, but keep an eye out for him all game in order to cut off Chivas attacks.
So we look at this foul. Iniestra given the number 10 jersey this season. A 23-year-old kid out of Jalisco, by the way. And this is going to be another foul for Pumas. Aranza, how are the managers down on the pitch?
Really peaceful. That's the word that I could use. I think they're still analyzing. They're going to make the necessary changes. But right now, I think the one that is not so good with his team, it's Miguel Gonzalez, because Chivas has found its way once and again to go forward.
Yes, and consistency has been a word that comes to mind with Michel's Pumas, even though they're living a good moment recently. We'll see if they can follow up. Ball into the box, headed inside. No problem for Rodriguez, who will keep it, come off his line quickly and look for a teammate. Fine. The opportunity now on the right. Here's the chance. Here's El Conejito Brizuela. Time and space. Brizuela's quick, pacey. Looks to go in. Crafty pass. Behind the back line of Pumas, couldn't find Pulido. Chivas still on it, in space of Pumas territory. Going off to the left, Mayorga has it with Ponce close. Gives it to Ponce. Here's Ponce, tip of the box. Goes inside, taken back out. Once again by Nicolás Freire. And there is the former Argentino Juniors taking care of business for his team. And now watch Pumas, midsection of the park. Malcorra going in for Iturbe. Here's Iturbe. Iturbe can have it from there. Iturbe can have it from there. Goes inside. Gonzalez looks to pull out some type of crafty maneuver to put the ball back, to hook it behind his back, but that won't count.
Yeah, Gonzalez clearly in an illegal position the moment that pass is made by Iturbe, but keep an eye out for Iturbe on the long shots. He was tempted to take one, but as Molina cut off that look, Iturbe decided to make the play. But in their last game against Santos, Iturbe constantly looked for the mid-distance shot.
Here's Mosso in between three defenders, tries to go inside. Gonzalez went down with no foul, and Chivas is back on it. Ball chipped up top, looking for the boots of Alan Pulido. Looks like a foul not called, still in the control of La UNAM. And going all the way back for Alfredo Saldívar.
On attack, Chivas needs to play with more numbers up as the man is down.
Talk to me, Aranza. It's Alan
Pulido.
Yes,
Alan Pulido is down. The referee is getting close to him. I think the medical services are not going to be called. They're just waiting. No?
Yeah, no, and you know,
Fortunately, he's up.
We're taking another look at it. Yeah, we're taking another look at it as Pulido goes down dangerously. Looks to be a self-injury, if that, right on that right elbow, if you will.
Let's remember that Alan Pulido with the Mexican national team had hurt his forearm
right before the Gold Cup in Houston.
Right.
And he was forced out of that Gold Cup that Osorio took in 2017.
Okay, so if you let me, something is going on here. The number 3 from Pumas is warming up, Pablo Jaques.
There you go.
Yeah, Freire.
And that's not good news. That is not good news, Nico.
No, Freire, who's been a consistent starter, a consistent player in these last moments for Michel. The last couple of games seems to be a muscular issue. That typical pull up and stop. Freire, who is a recent acquisition of this Puma squad.
And we'll Stay tuned with Aranza, who does a phenomenal job. She's down on the pitch, and you'll let us know if he's going to be able to continue. We'll see what Michel decides
yeah,
here,
right now
Aranza.
he's trying his leg with the doctor. He seems okay. I don't know if they're going to do any other checking for him, anything else, but he seems okay, fortunately.
Yeah, that would be fortunate for Pumas.
I don't know which is going to be the decision, because the number 3 is still receiving instructions.
Yeah, so that may mean that he needs to come on. We will follow up on that situation.
Yes,
well,
first substitution.
At least they can bring in a player like Jaques, and it can be man for man. Won't change too much for Pumas, but if Freire cannot continue, he's been a stalwart in the back for Michel this season.
Yeah.
So this...
And there is referee of the matchup.
Unfortunately, the first substitution has to be made. The number 18, as we just saw, is coming off the field, Nicolás Freire, and the number 3 coming in, Pablo Jaques.
Pablo Jaque into the pitch. Well done, Aranza. She called it, and that is a substitution that will need to take place. So the defender at Santa Lucia, Argentina, will be substituted off the pitch. He is the guy that plays along Luis Quintana. You better believe chemistry has something to do here, so Chivas can capitalize on this as Jaque has to come on and play beside Luis Quintana. We'll see what El Flaco Tena and company do. They've lost the ball here. Watch the opportunity for Iturbe. Thought about having the shot. There's a deflection. Conejito has it. Here's Brizuela. What do you do, Isaac? Brizuela still on it. Looked like a foul. Not called. Yes, it is. Now it is, and it's going to be Rebaño's ball.
An important set-piece play again for Chivas. Maybe they'll start through possession, but you see Villalpando, who, as the game goes on, he feels like he should put this team on his shoulders, knowing the responsibility as being the creative player in the midfield, to be that link.
This is going to be a great chance for Chivas with a fresh defender coming inside. We'll see how his timing is. Pablo Jaque, service comes in, taken back out at the tip of the box. At the heart of the box, the shot from way out, and the header is just wide. Breezing past the left post of Alfredo Saldívar, although this did not count. Called off, signaled off, if you will, by assistant number 1, Alberto Morín Méndez.
Yeah, it took a deflection off of Pulido, I believe, or one of the 2 players in that offside position. Once that shot came off, but let's remember that Mayorga also has a great mid-distance shooter.
Yes, he is, and he's shown that in the past. Played back to Saldívar. Watch the pressure. Chivas following up their lines. That was Brizuela closing up on Angulo. The under-20, under-17 international with Colombia. One of the best backs, without a doubt, currently in Liga MX. Vega looking to get a touch on that, trying to turn around on Quintana, who pressures well, beats him, and up back in the right for Sanchez. 190-plus games for El Guadalajara for Sanchez, also him on the right. Just such an important piece of the puzzle for los rojiblancos, and of course, in this case, for Tena. Here's Brizuela going inside. Villalpando needs to drop it back.
Look at how much freedom Mayorga had on that play, appearing on the right. He's going to be another key player, but it seems like Luis Fernando Tena has given him the freedom to roam, to go up and incorporate himself in the midfield in that final third of attack, where having an extra player can't be anything but good. And that link up is going to be clear, especially since he's so dangerous around goal. we'll keep an eye out for him as well going forward.
31 minutes gone, 0-0. What's the feeling like in the stadium? What's the feeling like on the bench? I'll go to you in a second, Aranza, because Alan Pulido with a crafty play looks to go into the box. Taken away last minute. Well defended again by Quintana. One again by Alanis. A former Oviedo goes right. Finds Brizuela. Here's El Conejito. Have it. Brizuela, tip of the box. He's going to go one-on-one. Brizuela. Player comes right off his right. It's Sanchez played inside. Looks like a penalty kick. And it's not called by the referee. Do we need to go to VAR? We'll know in a second. As of now, Jorge Rojas doesn't call a thing for Chivas. How did you see it on the pitch, Aranza?
I can't just describe this. Chivas, as I just told you some minutes ago, has been doing it, finding the way once and again. And now the forwards are making their own thing.
Yeah, how did you see it, Nico?
Hackis is grabbing onto Pulido. I mean, they are going to take a look at it. I mean, it's only normal to take a look at it if it's VAR, but Hackis has an arm around Pulido. He is hooking onto him, but I want to see whether it's Pulido himself who trips or if it's enough of a contact from Hackis to pull him down. Pulido was in a good position to receive that cross.
So you know what?
To me, it looks like Pulido, there is contact up top, but I want to see whether Pulido goes down by himself. To me, he trips on his own leg, right there.
Sure.
Right there, Pulido trips on his own leg.
There is certainly contact coming from the defender, and we'll go down to the pitch.
But is that trip caused because of Hackis' pulling on Pulido? Nowadays with VAR, it can go other way.
Right.
It's a VAR penalty kick, and if it would be called at the end of the day, I don't think it would be wrong.
That to me enough is contact. If you're going to review
penalty kick,
there is a clear contact, Aranza, as we're looking at it right here on the replay.
There was a clear contact. I think this was a desperate move from the defender. As I was telling, Guadalajara has been doing things correctly, but this was something that we know about Pulido is that sometimes he falls by himself, but on this one, I think it's a clear foul.
Well, we'll see what Jorge Rojas, who will give us the official call, now thinks of this. Is it a penalty kick or not? 34 minutes in change into the first half. Penalty kick! It's called for Chivas of Guadalajara. I thought there was enough contact. Referee makes a decision to make the call. If you're going to review it, Nico, you're already looking at it. It could be a ton of contact. It could be minimal contact.
I think what Jorge Rojas at the end of the day believes is that that initial tug of the shirt, that initial hook of Hackis around Alan Pulido creates Pulido's fall. The contact is a product of Pulido tripping. Despite the fact that they come together and Pulido himself trips on himself. He clips his own legs, is a product of Hackis arriving late and pulling him. That's what I understand Jorge Rojas is calling, but nowadays with these VAR penalties, with video review, it is almost could have been anticipated that it was going to be called a penalty kick. Alan Pulido from the spot to take.
Who else to take it? It's going to be Alan Pulido, the 28-year-old former Tigres, former Olympiacos, Mexican international. Controversial at moments, but effective when he needs to be. There he is, Alan Pulido to strike it. Alfredo Saldívar to save Pumas in this first half. 36 minutes in. We await the order of Rojas. Nine sets up. And watch the mind games from Saldívar.
He can have a foot off his line.
That he can. Pulido sets up. Strikes. Bucket. Goal. That's what they were waiting for. That's what the Chiva hermanos wanted to enjoy. The Chiva brothers. And ladies and gentlemen, Alan Pulido makes it 1-0 for El Rebaño Sagrado, 37 minutes in.
Good penalty kick by Alan Pulido. Sent the goalkeeper the other way and tucked it home, but let's go back to the small details of how small moments can change the game. Jaques, who's just subbed on, is the villain in this whole play. Freire, who was doing a good job. Jaques, perhaps cold, perhaps the first time he was called into action the whole game. Pulido had beaten him, he puts his arm around him, and with video review, it was called a penalty kick. Chivas up 1-0, now they can play with the confidence of having the lead.
And as they dominate the ball, I go to Aranza in just a second, because watch Brizuela at the tip of the box. Chivas smells the opportunity to get something else going. 1-on-2 opportunity here, signal to go back. He has to. Now I'll go with you, Aranza. It's 1-0 for El Guadalajara.
These are the results. Now this is the result of the experience from Alan Pulido, from this professional soccer player. Now, he's one of the Mexicans that has been competing to become one of the main strikers. So he's accomplishing it. I'll tell you in just a few minutes which are the Mexicans that could accomplish that on this season. One of them is Jose Juan Macías from León, which was formed here in the Youth Academy from Chivas.
That he was, JJ Macías, who is in the list for El Tata Martino's matches this upcoming week of Nations League, and he had a phenomenal game in El Nemesio 10 of Toluca days ago to beat Trinidad. Had a beautiful goal, and yes, he was a product of El Rebaño. Alan Pulido able to put his team on top here with 39 gone, and we'll see how Pumas responds with Guadalajara feeling the moment, the momentum, and the opportunity to get something else going. Here's a chance, trying to dominate that ball was Malcorra. He couldn't get there in time. Good pivot turn now from Pulido. He's still on it. He's feeling it. He's got the confidence. Good interception, although it's won back by Pulido, but that won't count. It will be Chivas ball.
A lot of people criticize Alan Pulido for the rap video that he put out during the week a couple weeks ago, but ever since, he's scored 3 straight goals in 3 Liga MX games.
So there you go.
He should be rapping more.
Now, the truth of the matter is Nico Cantor owns that CD. Do not believe him for a second. He owns the Alan Pulido EP. Here's a left side opportunity far out of Akron Stadium, finding Mayorga. Midsection of the park for Chivas. Long ball looking for Pulido. He's not going to get there now. He does. Still on it. Last minute touch. Getting on it that time was Pumas. A long ball played to Gonzalez. Watch Alanis, whose lane looks like a foul. It's not called. Now it is. And I think this will be a yellow card. And it is Aranza. There's another yellow card down on the pitch.
Once again, there's another yellow card, the second one on this match, and it's for Iran Mier.
I think it was for Osvaldo Alanis.
Yeah, sorry, Osvaldo Alanis.
We'll look at it. Yeah, they're both involved. It's a tough play. They're both involved. It is going to be Alanis because of this play, and I think it's the right decision by Jorge Sac Rocas here.
2 things. What a ball by Nacho Malcorra. Outside of the foot pass into space between 2 Chivas players to pick out Carlos Gonzalez, who I don't think was going to get there, but did a very sneaky thing and getting his body in front of Alanis and baiting him and creating a foul out of a difficult play, out of a ball that was a 50-50. And now Nacho Malcorra has a sensational opportunity to take a free kick. He scored from this position, his only goal of the season. A fantastic strike in the 5th week against Veracruz. So now Chivas needs to be careful, but at the end of the day, it's a play that he constructed, and now he's going to be able to finish.
And we'll see how El Rebaño manages José Toño Rodríguez at his first poll, obviously trying to set up what looks to be a 4-man wall.
I like how teams have reacted to no men of the same team in opposition's wall. they've just created another wall 1 meter away, which is the distance you're allowed to stand. It's novelty. It's novelty in modern soccer.
Malcorra sets up. 4 men on the wall for Jose Antonio Rodriguez. Couple of steps for Malcorra. Bigon sets up with his right. It's going to be Malcorra. It's off the wall. That 4-man wall with a man going down. Pumas will not hold the ball. It's chipped up top. No fair play shown here by La Universidad Nacional Autónoma of Mexico, and it looks to be Iram Mier, the man down.
Strange that Jorge Isaac Rojas didn't stop play immediately as Mier went down. Usually with anything related to head injury, plays immediately stopped, but Malcorra played on simply because Jorge Isaac Rojas didn't stop play.
And what is the feeling like on the bench now for Luis Fernando Tena as Mier looks to be down?
Yeah, well, the medical assistants are already here waiting for the decision from the referee. Iram Mier seems to be okay. He received the hit. He was hit directly on his face when the free kick was taken. And what I can tell you right now, speaking about the best scorers on the Liga MX, as I was telling you when Alan Pulido got the first goal on this match, is that with this one, he has scored 7 goals. So he's on with the competition. He's one of the 2 Mexicans that have been competing for this title. The best one has been Mauro Daniel Quiroga with 8. So I can tell you about the importance that Alan Pulido is accomplishing with this. He told it at the beginning of the season, and he's making it.
Sure. And there he is. That's a good stat. 7th goal in 12 games for the footballer out of Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. And there he is, being that important player that Chivas of Guadalajara needs him to me ever since they invested in him quite well. And of course, we know that he was in Europe at top level.
In Greece, he was a fichaje bomba of that season.
Yeah. It's a 44th minute of the first half, nearing the end of the first 45 minutes. Chivas is up on Pumas 1-0 on a penalty kick that was very well struck by the previously multi-mentioned Alan Pulido. We go all the way back for Saldívar. Pressure comes on. And then taken back out by the goalkeeper of UNAM. Chipped up top. That ball looking for Brian Figueroa. He couldn't get there. Looks like a foul. Tough collision. Back to Figueroa. Now, Jorge Isaac Rojas, a bit late, calls it back for Pumas.
Yeah, I think he let a advantage play on, and once he saw that it wasn't there, called the foul back. But we're reaching the end of 45, and Pumas is looking to turn something around.
How many minutes of added on?
6 minutes.
Well, if you wanted to see more football, more soccer on Chivas TV on English, you are enjoying it. Get hooked, Chiva Hermanos, Chiva Brothers. It's Chivas TV in English in your language, and El Guadalajara responding in this one up 1-0. They want a little bit more. We will play up until the 51st minute of action. 6 minutes of added on, as Aranza had told us earlier on. Edgar Ulises Arrangel, the 4th official, letting us know, giving us, feeding us that information. Here is Juan Pablo Bigon, still on it. It's going to be Pumas ball, very close to Michel, who has been not particularly calm in the last couple of minutes, losing this game to Chivas.
Something that I think will be spoken on the whole time is how Chivas needs to stop being desperate. They need to connect the middle field with the forwards to create something better. Now, the goal was a shot of confidence.
No question, no question. And El Rebaño Sagrado looks to be playing with a pip in her step, just with some confidence here. Here's Malcorra to put this curled into the heart of the box. A shot from way out, and that will be off target from Alan Mozo, and it'll be a goal kick for Jose Antonio Rodriguez and company. Chivas looking for their 4th win of the season, and we know how competitive Liga MX could be when it comes to Liguilla. A win gets them to 14, and right out of the gate, they're right behind Monterrey in that 14th position. But as Aranza said, Nico, You got to gain confidence. You can't get desperate, and you got to go one game at a time. And there's 6.5 games left for Chivas.
Yeah, definitely depends on what type of objective you're looking forward. And at this point of the season, Chivas can only take it step by step and game by game. A win here would snap a 3-game losing streak for Chivas, and for Luis Fernando Tena, that's going to be key in having a positive tenure in completing his 8-game contract. You got to snap out of it quickly and start picking up points immediately.
No handball call that time at the 50-yard line. Chivas dominates the ball. Here's Pulido, drops it back for Osvaldo Alanis, former Santos Laguna defender, 30 years of age for him. He's been an international of Mexico as well. Brought back by Chivas after short adventure with Real Oviedo in Spain. Here's Mozo, looks to turn around with Ponce right on him. It'll be a throw-in for Pumas, and Mozo himself handles it, going short to Jaques, who will get rid of it as Gonzalez is able to get a head on. Vega turns. Here's Alexis Vega, drops it back. Chivas looking for a little bit more before the end of the half. They have about 3 minutes to look for it. Mayorga is on the far side. Mayorga can have a cross. Mayorga plays inside. Mayorga! Look at Ponce trying to get him behind Jaques, and coming back to defend is Juan Pablo Bigon for his team. Bigon still trying to get rid of it. That out. Now Molina goes down, no foul. The answer is from Pumas. Watch Malcorra, numbers for La UNAM. That's well defended. And that's Sanchez winning it and going up top. And now Chivas, 3 attack, 5 defend. We drop a little back. Villalpando, back to Vega. And the shot from Alexis. Thought he had an opportunity going into the box. Took it. Just off target. Still 1-0 to Chivas.
It was the counter to the counter. Look how poorly positioned Pumas was after Malcorra lost the ball going forward. They were such a stretched team, and it allowed Chivas to take advantage and use those pockets that were so wide open on attack. It ended up on a off-target Alexis Vega shot. And here's the part where those associations come in big, and Vega maybe should have looked for a teammate there. But regardless, Pumas needs to be careful in trying to finish those plays in which they're going forward with numbers, trying to not get caught flat-footed on the counter to their counter.
Now it's Carlos Gonzalez down, and he looks hurt.
Yes, the number 32 just got hurt. He was fouled, Carlos Gonzalez, as you just said. And I'll tell you the men that we could see on the second half from Guadalajara: Raúl Gudiño, Eduardo López, Gael Sandoval, Oribe Peralta, Michael Pérez, César Huerta, and Gilberto Sepúlveda. Now from the bench from Pumas, Miguel Fraga, Pablo Jaques, which already came in. This was the first substitution made. Kevin Escamilla, David Cabrera, Pablo Barrera, Felipe Mora, and Brian Mendoza.
Should have been a yellow for Brizuela. Hit Gonzalez fairly hard on the shin. Got lucky that time.
Unnecessary move.
Here's Malcorra. He'll set up. Yeah, to a certain extent, dangerous from Brizuela. And he'll escape it this time. Malcorra, ice locked on the box. Second pull service, put back inside. Defended. Brizuela himself, Conejito comes out, is able to win it. Chips it up top, negotiates a goal kick for his team, as looking to win the ball was Brian Figueroa. Well, off the bench, named well by Aranza, Oribe Peralta, Walter Gael Sandoval, who came from Santo Laguna, has not been able to fill those important shoes of Rodo Pizarro. Of course, when Pizarro was transferred for that mega sum to Rayados. And on the Puma side, Pablito El Hammer Barrera's got to be a very interesting option for Michel if he needs to bring him on. We're very close to the end of this first half. We are well past the 46-minute mark, and at any moment, how about now? Jorge Isaac Rojas calls it. 46 minutes, 51 minutes, 6 seconds, I should say, after the 6 minutes added on, and that's it for the first half. La Chivas Rayadas of Guadalajara are taking care of Pumas 1-0 on an Alan Pulido penalty kick. This is Chivas TV in English. Ramses Sandoval, Nico Cantor, Aranza Fernandez. We will be back.
En Gambita.
Bueno, estamos en el intermedio. Guadalajara en un partido nivelado, en un partido donde pocas aproximaciones sobre los marcos. Intervino el VAR y está 1-0 con el séptimo gol de Alan Pulido. Vamos al resumen, lo que sucedió en estos casi 51 minutos. Aquí cuando salía, ¿no? Dirigiendo Jorge Isaac Rojas, los dos conjuntos, solamente un cambio por parte de los visitantes, Figueroa, y Guadalajara sí hizo ajustes en relación al clásico. El primer esbozo fue este disparo de Alexis Vega, que fue curveando y salió a la derecha del Pollo Saldívar.
Ha sido fundamental el trabajo de Alexis Vega a lo largo del partido. Silencioso porque no ha tenido tantos impactos a puerta, ha tenido dos nada más, los dos han ido desviados, pero los movimientos, las recepciones y los apoyos que está ofreciendo a la ofensiva le están ayudando muchísimo al Guadalajara, que si bien es cierto no hemos tenido tanta llegada por ambos costados, pero Chivas ha sido el que más ha tenido la pelota y al que más le ha interesado ir al frente.
Así es, definitivamente las mejores, las aproximaciones, y esta fue la jugada que finalmente llevó al penalti que bien comentaba Paul Enrique Delgadillo.
Sí, me parece, es indudable que hay un contacto y hay una pequeña falta, pero esto es a consecuencia. A mí en lo particular no me gusta este tipo de jugadas que se sancionen como penal, que intervenga el VAR. Me parece que le quitan mucha esencia al juego, porque el VAR tiene que ser para lo burdo, para una sujeción como en la que amonestan al jugador de Pumas cuando jala a Pulido fuera del área, ese tipo de cosas que no tienen lugar a duda. Estas son como muy rebuscadas. No podemos decir que no es penal porque existe el contacto, pero...
Sí.
De acuerdo.
Estadísticas.
Parte de la esencia del juego, como lo dice. Un tiro a gol por bando, 3 desviados del Guadalajara, 10 faltas tiene el local, 7 el visitante, una amarilla por bando. No ha sido un juego tan trabado, han sido faltitas, han sido faltitas de esas superficiales que no afectan tanto. Sí traban el juego un poco, pero nada de cuidado. Ahí están las estadísticas hasta el momento del primer tiempo.
Creo que no se han desgastado los equipos. Puede venir lo mejor, ¿no?
Sí, yo creo que va a venir lo mejor para el segundo tiempo. Esperar también, obviamente, porque tiene que suceder una reacción de Pumas. Pumas va a tener que ir a buscar el partido y el Guadalajara tiene que ser consciente de que eso tiene que abrirle puerta para a lo mejor ir en contragolpe, pero ser muy cuidadoso en la parte defensiva.
No, es fundamental, ¿no? Eso adolece
La concentración ha sido algo muy difícil para el Guadalajara en el
Pero por supuesto, estamos de acuerdo.
Sí, yo creo que Pumas, yo esperaba que Pumas después de recibir el gol abriera un poquito más, buscara más el partido y su planteamiento táctico no cambió, siguió atacando con un solo centro delantero sin arriesgar nada y bueno, veremos si modifica ahora iniciando el segundo tiempo.
Puede ser, ¿no? Con Mora, pero también le hemos visto juegos incluso de local que la va llevando y bueno, algún parpadeo del rival y aparece Carlos por arriba, González el goleador y no es muy desgastante al frente el conjunto de Pumas. Ya hacíamos muchos goles, su fuerte indudablemente es la defensa, los menos goleados hasta el momento. Pues hay tela de donde echar mano, solamente un cambio ahí por lesión, Freire, que fue un jugador importante y desde luego yo creo que sí va a haber algún movimiento conforme pasen los segundos del complemento.
Sí, de acuerdo, creo que tenemos todavía mucho partido en la segunda parte. Vamos a ver también lo que tiene Pumas en la banca, porque tiene a Cabrera, tiene a Barrera, tiene a Mora, Brian Mendoza, que también terminó haciendo goles hace poco. Entonces creo que Pumas tendría que echar mano de hombres que a lo mejor no le han funcionado. A mí no me gustaba, por ejemplo, Figueroa, lo que ha hecho en la cancha. Puede ser uno de los que puede salir para el segundo tiempo, y Michel tiene que moverle a su equipo. Por parte de Luis Fernando, pues tiene que tener tranquilidad. No sé si a lo mejor también estaría en algún momento ya para que al minuto 55, 60 entrar a Oribe Peralta, diera un poquito de más tranquilidad en la parte de medio campo y algo que pudiera manejar. Vamos ahora con el calor del rebaño, con Mauro y con Fer de la Mora.
Este es el calor del rebaño, la afición de Chivas. Y Fer, vamos ganando, le vamos ganando a los Pumas.
Ay, así es, ahora estamos súper contentos, vamos ganando 1-0 y esperemos que el segundo tiempo esté igual, por favor.
Oye, y Pulido ya con 7 goles, ya está ahí en la tabla de goleo. solo está separado de un solo gol de los punteros, ¿no? Entonces va muy bien, ¿no?
Ay, así es, vamos muy bien, veo muy animados a los chavos, veo que van mucho mejor y veo que le están echando muchas más ganas.
Sí, pues eso es lo que tiene que demostrar. Y también la afición está demostrando. La afición de hoy está increíble. Vean, esa es la mejor afición. ¿De dónde nos acompaña usted?
Venimos de Yuma, Arizona.
Muy bien, desde Arizona. No me grites, sí lo oigo. Está muy emocionado.
De más.
Oye, y por allá también hay otros pequeños.
A ver, por acá, ¿tú de dónde eres?
De Guadalajara.
Guadalajara y le vas a las Chivas, obvio. ¿Cuánto quieres que ganen?
3-0.
3-0, vamos por 3-0 entonces.
Muy bien, perfecto. Oiga, pues también aquí en sus pequeños. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Juan Pablo.
¿Y quién te la firmó esa?
Ah, lo de las Chivas.
A todos los de las Chivas. Pero la lavaron en el río, ya se le borraron todas. ¿Qué pasó? Oye, pero ¿quién se quiere llevar un regalito que tenemos?
Llevar la bufanda.
Okay, atención.
3 condiciones. Primera condición, el acta de Chiva Hermano, un labial rojo y
una gorra de Chivas. La persona que traiga un labial rojo, gorra de Chivas y el acta de la República Chivas se lleva la bufanda.
Y todos están agarrando la cabeza como, ay.
Mira, a ver, busque, pues tráela, ¿dónde está? Órale, a ver, a buscarla. Gorra, a ver si alguien se lleva esta bufanda. Queremos que nos traigan la gorra de Chivas, que por ahí ya vi una, ¿eh? Aquí hay una. El lipstick rojo y la República Chivas, el certificado de la
consecutiva. Vamos a ver quién se lleva esta bufanda.
Pero la verdad es que, bueno, mi querido César, tú siempre nos sigues a todas partes, mi César.
Claro.
¿Y no traes nada de lo que estamos pidiendo?
Pues es que el labial, pues mi papá está hasta allá y la acta la saqué el partido pasado.
¿Y el labial de quién es?
Pues, no sé.
¿También se pone el labial? Todo?
Ay, Dios. Bueno, acá atrás quieren mandar un saludo.
A toda la gente que viene de Michoacán a apoyar a las Chivas, cada 15 días estamos aquí apoyando.
Eso, a ver, ¿y cuánto crees que van a ganar?
3-1.
3-1, hecho. A ver, nadie, la gorra, nada más la gorra. Me la voy a llevar yo a mi casa, Mauro.
¿Qué se me hace que nos vamos a quedar con la bufanda? Qué bueno, porque ya empezó como que a refrescar, ¿no? ¿Sabes qué es lo que me encanta de acá? Que viene mucha gente de todos lugares, ¿no? De muchos lugares por acá. Hay gente, ¿de dónde nos acompañan ustedes?
Venimos de Ciudad Juárez.
Ciudad Juárez. ¿Y por qué decidieron venir aquí a apoyar a las Chivas?
Porque somos Chiva hermanos desde nacimiento. Mis papás son de Jalisco, entonces desde nacimiento somos Chivas.
Pues bienvenidos acá. Y también Chiva hermana. ¿Usted qué siente estar acá en el estadio?
Pues se siente muy emocionante apoyar a nuestro equipo.
Todos en familia.
Tenemos dos. Hay un lipstick rojo y una gorra.
¿Ya nada más falta el acta?
Falta el acta.
Bueno.
Le dicen el chivo.
Pues yo creo que...
Eso cuenta.
Yo creo que... A ver, ¿qué acta traes? Ah, bueno, a ver. ¿Cuánto dinero traes? Oh, sí, le damos, sí, te la regalamos, claro, por supuesto. Aquí todos ganamos en este partido.
De Yuma, Arizona, de Somerton, San Luis y todos sus alrededores ahí. A mi tío Martín, ¡vamos, tío!
¿La gente de dónde?
De Mexicali, Tijuana.
Tijuana. Esos son nuestros chivermanos que están en toda la República Mexicana. ¿Por acá de dónde?
Venimos de Los Ángeles, California.
Ah, mi güera, ¿quién me trajo de Los Ángeles?
A mi esposo.
Oye, ¿para qué lo quiero? Me trajo a su esposo de Los Ángeles.
Ah, no, ni para qué lo queremos. Pero bueno, viene gente de toda la República a ver a nuestras Chivas. Así que esperemos que hoy vayan adelante a ganar.
Ay, ¿y por qué no cantamos un cielito lindo, no? ¿Qué les parece? Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegra el cielito lindo los corazones. Fer, seguimos con más aquí en Chivas TV.
Cuando éramos un equipo que descendía.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the second 45 minutes of this one. Chivas Rayadas of Guadalajara up 1-0 on Pumas of UNAM. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you for the first time in English. CHIVASTV in English, El Rebaño Sagrado in your language. Of course, Ramses Sandoval, Nico Cantor, and Aranza Fernandez. The second 45 minutes of this matchup. The Chivas Rayadas has up 1-0 against Pumas. For now, will be in the voice of Nico Cantor.
Thank you, Ramses. Thank you, Aranza. It's going to be an interesting next 45 minutes. Pumas, the team that you see in the tunnel right now, needs to react and needs to come out with a much better showing. They constructed a couple of plays, but Guadalajara did what they needed to do sufficiently to create a penalty kick situation, and Alan Pulido from the spot is the difference maker in the first 45. Pumas didn't have a poor first half, but they do find themselves down on the scoreline, Ramses.
Yes, they do. And the second 45 will be absolutely essential if Chivas of Guadalajara wants to win this game. 7 to go. They're winning the first one. They have to win 5 in a perfect world in order to make the Liguilla.
Aranza, how's it looking from down low? Talk to me if there's going to be any changes or whatnot. How are the teams looking going in?
The same 22 players that were in the first half will continue in this second half. Now, remembering everyone that is watching us, that there was a substitution made from Pumas on the first half. It was Pablo Jaques, the one that came in, and the number 18 was the one that came out after an unfortunate play. It was Nicolás Freire.
Everything about to get set, and we are underway in Estadio Akron. It's Guadalajara and Pumas about to get started. Thank you for being with us.
You're absolutely right, Nico, and it is going to be the second 45 minutes. So we'll see what happens in this one as Pumas will try to fight back against Chivas of Guadalajara. Here's the opportunity now at the midsection, chipped up top, looking for Carlos Gonzalez. Here's the Paraguayan, who will try to have a service off the left. Unsuccessful for now. Here is the Guarani dropping it back again. And that is going to be called back as trying to get to that ball and control it. That opportunity for Juan Pablo Vigón. There is Vigón, the former Atlas of Guadalajara. To start the second 45 minutes, Aranza, how are the managers at Flaco Tena?
Right now, they're just analyzing, expecting, I think, what they spoke on the halftime is going to have results on the field.
Dropping it all the way back for Saldívar. Here is the 29-year-old goalkeeper of Pumas of UNAM. Coming out quickly for Jaques as he receives the boos from Estadio Akron. Now over to the right for Pumas, who can control on that section of the pitch. Trying to get to that ball was Brian Figueroa. Bonce covering, and Figueroa for most of the first half as well, Nico. A non-factor thus far for Michel's team.
It's going to be a battle for Pumas to stop Chivas going forward, because not only that, they play with the confidence of being up 1-0. But at the same time, they're going to have to figure out how to get Iturbe activated. Gonzalez was the man they've been looking for off long balls, but it needs to be a little bit more dynamic up top. So far, I think they can be satisfied with what they've seen on defense, because they have kept Chivas at bay, with the exception of that penalty kick. But at the end of the day, they are down 1-0 on the scoreline.
That is Jose Toño Rodriguez, and the people are getting in touch with us, Nico, on YouTube, of course, with CHIVASTV. They're getting in touch, they're enjoying the game, and we are glad, because, of course, for Nico Cantor and myself, joining Aranza Fernandez and the great team of CHIVASTV is our first matchup. Who are some of the people getting involved, Nico? We have Rubén Noriega, Adrián Rodríguez, José Horta, Pedro Enciso, Alberto Lopez saying that he loves the broadcast. So thanks to everyone that is enjoying the game. Here is José Antonio Rodríguez at the tip of the box, coming up quick and finding Osvaldo Analís. Here's Iramier. The former Gallo Blanco of Querétaro going over to the right for Sanchez. Will send a long one looking for the boots of Alan Pulido, who's off to the races. But he won't be successful, as following that was Luis Quintana. And just like that, at the start of the second half, Chivas continues to manage the clock and manage the score. Still 1-0, losing the ball as they were coming off that line. Alan Mozo in between two players of Chivas. Dieter Villalpando still on it, goes inside for Brizuela. Brizuela can have a shot. Brizuela! And that is saved in the back from Saldívar. But that is something that Conejito could do as well, have a shot from way out.
Nice look by Cone Brizuela mid-distance. It was the best that he could do, but at the end of the day, it was too easy of a shot for Saldívar to control.
There's something that Guadalajara has been doing correctly. They have been working as a team. They have been sliding with the plays. This is something that speaks about how the confidence have been pushing them, supporting them correctly. This was something that was missing on the other matches. Now we see the results of this.
Here's Alan Pulido crossing midfield, going to the right, finding the boots of Isaac Brizuela. Here's El Conejito, tip of the box, wants it back, is going to get it back. Brizuela, very close to the heart of the box, and Pablo Jaques comes off his line to take it away. But it's Chivas of Guadalajara with some confidence. Look at this. The first one, Conejo Brizuela completely into the game now, building that confidence. And then this one, getting the ball back from Puligol, who has a goal to his name today. Yes, off the penalty kick. Here is the corner opportunity from the right, setting up Ponce, very close to second assistant Jorge Antonio Sanchez. Here is Miguel Angel, alongside guys like José Antonio Rodríguez and company, winning the goal in 2012 in London against Brazil. First pole cross taken away, played back, and look at that, the bicycle kick opportunity. Angulo will chase it, won't get there, and Chivas will keep control of the ball.
What a nice way to put in that service. A closed off cross. Jaques doing everything he could to clear that, and it was put in by Iramier. Unfortunately for Chivas, unable to be converted into a goal, but they still have an attacking opportunity.
Throw in from Ponce to the first pole. It was taken away as Molina was looking to get there. So much experience for Jesus Molina, and another corner kick for Chivas. Dream start in the second half for El Guadalajara, and the fans are loving it at Estadio Akron. After this corner opportunity, I'm going to go to Aranza Fernandez on the pitch as we look at Michel. He is a little nervous. Chivas looking for the 2-0 score opportunity as we look at Saldívar as well. Bigon picking up Vega. Here is Ponce, the specialist. Iramier, first pole. Here's the service, a touch on it, taken back out by Malcorra. And now Iturbe looking to take on the defense. That'll be called back. Aranza, it's a good start in the second half for Chivas.
At the beginning of the match, you were speaking about how this team, Pumas, was pretty compact. But Guadalajara has found a way to use their pressing correctly and create the spaces, create the opportunities, and work as a team to go forward. And this is what they're doing in the second half. They already learned how to do it. They analyze their opponent, and they're making things right.
Yeah, and that ball will be against Pumas. By the by, a little bit of confusion as we look at the replay. It was a handball, so Chivas of Guadalajara, as we saw minutes ago, seconds ago, El Flaco Tena with his assistants. Here's Mayorga trying to have a cross. Mayorga, that's good defense played on Mayorga, and then a foul. Yes, counted against Chivas this time. Very clear from Jorge Isaac Rojas. El Flaco Tena assisted by none other than El Beto Coyote, who has stayed on, and also Salvador Reyes. Obviously, two guys that know the institution and that are there to back him up, Nico.
Yeah, obviously, Luis Fernando Tena is an experienced coach, and he's been around Mexican soccer for a while, especially his CV, shows that he can be successful. So what you're looking for in these 8 games is just the maximum amount of points possible.
Villalpando looks to go inside, try to split the defense. Vega was making a run, going back out to the far side. Here's Sanchez, lifts his head, finds for a teammate, finds for a receiver, and here is Brizuela. Good game for him thus far, my belief. It's going to be Chivas ball, and a big shout out to everybody enjoying the game. A ton of Chiva hermanos making their way from everywhere. Enrique Hernandez from Raleigh in North Carolina. Mari Morales sending a shout out from El DF, but a big Chiva hermana. So everybody in touch with us, thank you so much for catching.
Especially Curtis B. Williams.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Curtis B., a classic fan of the game. The shot comes in. It's wide, but Mayorga trying it yet again. No question. These are the best minutes, the best sequence, Nico, for Chivas of Guadalajara in this game.
And it should be a corner that took a slight nick off of a Pumas player, but I'm not against Mayorga taking those long shots. I insist. His position is very interesting because he's the 3rd center back in the defensive sequence. You see him right there alongside Alanis, sometimes maybe even a left fullback.
Iniestra went down, no foul called. Ponce has it, comes off his line, finds Brizuela, and now Brizuela finding Alexis Vega. Here's a product of Diablos. Alexis Vega goes back inside, centralizes attack. Villalpando straight to goal, and Saldívar will keep it. There's some confidence going on here at Aranza for Chivas of Guadalajara as they continue to dominate Pumas.
They're just gaining this confidence to try these kind of shots, and now Pumas is trying to react, so a second substitution will be made right now. The number 9 will come in, Felipe Mora.
Well, we spoke about Felipe Mora and others pregame, Nico, and there's your answer. Mora will have a shot here in the second half.
Maybe for Iturbe, someone to link up alongside Gonzalez.
Oh, that's a foul. It's going to be a dangerous one. Man down, and it's going to be another yellow card down on the field. Are you able to see for who the card is, Aranza?
I think you have a better perspective than I do.
No question about that. It is going to be Molina.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily because of this foul, but Molina, after a repetition of fouls, gets booked. And now Chivas have to defend their corner kick, and Iturbe is my candidate to come off simply because he hasn't been that great partner for Gonzalez. Then again, Brian Figueroa is in his 3rd start, but I'm not too sure if he would be the one to come off. So my candidate at the end of the day would be Iturbe.
There you have it. We'll see if Nico is right, and we're about to find out. The substitution down on the pitch.
Second substitution, the number 14 is coming off the field, Brian Figueroa, and the number 9 coming in, Felipe Mora. This player from Chile that has played 264 minutes during this season. 7 games, this is his 8th.
There you have it. Out of Santiago de Chile, as Aranza mentioned, 26 years of age, a product of Audax Italiano in the Andino Soccer League, a former Cruz Azul man, but he has definitely not lived to his name, to his moment, and certainly to his resume. He's in the pitch now. Service comes in. It's taken out by Osvaldo Alanis with perfect timing. Now Chivas wins it. Ponce on the counterattack, trying to get crafty, going with that heel move, if you will, back central, gives it back away. Pumas controls it.
So clearly Ponce's position has completely changed from what we saw him play in the first half. As we see him track back, it might be circumstantial, that run, but it seems like Chivas have switched to a 4-4-2.
Here he is, Mora, looking to go inside. A ton of contact in the box with Iriamier, with Carlos Gonzalez. Nothing called by referee of the game. Jorge Saca-Rojas now a long ball played into space. Pulido chasing in behind Quintana, who drops back for Saldívar, and now Pumas is able to control it. But at the moment, Chivas looking to dominate, gain a little bit more confidence that they already have with the 1-0 scoreline from Estadio Akron. Luis Fernando Tena's third game, second league game. That's a foul. This could be a card too. And it will be. It's going to be a yellow card for the man who just came on, Aranza. It's going to be Felipe Mora.
Exactly, third yellow card, and now is for the player from Pumas, the number 9, Felipe Mora.
Not the start you want as you come in, Nico.
No, it's not. And it's a hard tackle.
Oh.
The two men that came in from Pumas haven't had like a nice moment. On the first one, well, there was a penalty after he came in, and for this one, well, yellow card.
I mean, he's had to have 180 seconds on the pitch, and he's already been booked. As we looked at El Flaco Tena chatting with Salvador Reyes, perhaps a couple of modifications in the offing. We will go to Aranza in a second and see if she sees any of the Rebaño players warming up. But after this, because Gonzalez has it, going left, trying to find a teammate. Angulo's into the box. Angulo's able to get a foot on it. Two defenders closing in and closing in well. It's Iramier, it's Sanchez, and yes, it is a corner kick for Pumas of Una. You look at this panorama, and the turnout has really gotten better here at Akron. It's really a good ambiance and a good turnout to see Chivas of Guadalajara from the Chivas Hermanos enjoying Chivas TV in English. And this broadcast with Nico Cantor, with Aranza Fernandez, and of course Ramses Sandoval. It is a pleasure to be with you. Here is Malcorra, looks to come inside off the cross. Deflected on Sanchez, who has had a phenomenal match. The 30-year-old veteran playing right for Chivas for a long time now under various coaches, including Tomás Boy in the Almeida era, etc. Malcorra setting up again. Is going to come off his left boot, so it's going to come outward. Everybody lines up at the heart of the box. Here's a service taken out. Guess who again? Alanis. Sensational defensive work in the air. Chivas is back at it again. Switch the pitch, and they will. And watch the run for Brizuela. Pulido into the box. Here's Conejito. Played in. Pulido's not able to get there in time. Well defended and intercepted by I should say, Jason Angulo. Yes, the Colombian. Now on the left. Vega, Alexis. Here's Vega. Where do you go, Vega? Still on it. Step over move. Vega goes back inside. Take it out. And now the answer for Pumas. The game has certainly brightened up. Nico, that's a foul. Advantage given. I'll go to you in a second. Ball played into space. It won't count. It won't count, or will it? It did count. Gonzalez coming into contact with Jose Toño Rodriguez.
They were.
Wow, what a maneuver from Jose Toño Rodriguez, who goes down hard.
Yeah, the time of response from Toño Rodriguez was amazing. He obstructed the other player from creating a clear opportunity. So the number 32, Carlos Gonzalez, and the goalie from Guadalajara, Toño Rodriguez, are hurt and after this play.
It's a great ball in from Iturbe. And the foul was called, but I'm not sure that really is a yellow. Gonzalez is trying to fight for that ball. Yeah. It's a 50-50, and Toño Rodriguez does absolutely what he needs to do to get to that ball, and it's great for him. It was properly measured, but who's gonna get the booking now? Villalpando? If Gonzalez gets the booking, Villalpando for dissent.
Oh, yes. It was for the previous foul.
It's for the previous foul on the other side of the field. That's properly called. Then I think it's Jorge Isaac Rojas in the right that time.
Dieter Villalpando joins Molina and Osvaldo Alanis for Chivas of Guadalajara. Nico usually sells them right, and if you guys on Chivas TV were in the booth, you would have seen why I was trying to call an offside. When with the fake of Nico calling the offside.
No. I was indicating for Gonzalez to go because he was in the clear.
Oh, there you go. I thought you were calling an offside position.
It was just a great ball put into space by Iturbe, which I liked. It gave Gonzalez that channel in a little bit too hard, but I think it needed that strength to beat the two Chivas players that were there. But it was a great run by Gonzalez, knowing that he had to take an extra couple of strides before Toño Rodriguez, who ended up making the better play out of
Now
it.
during
Sensational stuff from Rodriguez.
during this pass that was made, Luis Fernando Tena took advantage of it to speak with the key man from Guadalajara, one of the main men, the number 6, Dieter Villalpando.
Yeah, and we're going to look at it again right here. We'll look at Dieter again. That's where Villalpando was fouled. He was bugged by Jorge Isaac Rojas on a previous infraction of the product of Tuzos of Pachuca, a former Atlas, a former Rayos of Necaxa, and now with Chivas of Guadalajara, and a man that has certainly been of the liking of Luis Fernando Tena, and that's why he is in the starting lineup tonight. And here he is again, Dieter going off to the right, finding Brizuela, very active in this game. Here's Brizuela one-on-one against Angulo. Brizuela straight to goal, saved by Saldívar.
I understand the look that Brizuela has, but in the last 4 shots that Chivas has had, they go from mid-distance. This was the closest one that Brizuela had, and in fact it wasn't mid-distance, he was inside of the box. But what I'm trying to get at is that it's solo play. Brizuela made his way inside of the box, and instead of trying to pick out a teammate, which I think is better when you have Vega, when you have Pulido pulling away markers, creating those spaces, I think you'll get a much better end product than a shot that might be somehow forced with many Pumas players around instead of trying to work it in with your teammates towards goal.
Here's Pumas again, crossing midfield, trying to get back into this game. Down 1-0. Mozos on the right. Long ball, looks long, is long, and will be off the end line. It'll be no problem for Chivas on the back with José Toño Rodriguez. We continue to chat and get involved with the Chiva Hermanos on our YouTube broadcast of the Chivas TV matchup in English with Rafael Perez Barron. He is in Wisconsin, and he wants to send a shout out to Tijuana. We also have Marcos Fabian, who says, it's my birthday, send me a shout out, Mr. Sandoval. There you go, all the way to Denver, Colorado. Thank you for being with us. So a ton of people getting involved. Jose Lopez is in McElnerry, Illinois. So coast to coast for El Rebaño Sagrado in the United States.
Shout out to Jorge Ichene, as well as Juan Silutiri.
Yes.
Darwin Ramirez as well.
Everybody in touch. Aranza, is there anybody you want to shout out on this Chivas TV broadcast?
Everyone. Actually, my family lives in Phoenix, Arizona, so hello to everyone there. And I need to tell you, the third and last substitution will be made by Pumas. The number 96, Brian Mendoza, is getting ready to come in. He's receiving the instructions from his manager.
Perfect.
And I wonder if it's gonna be like for like or not. Perhaps Michel is gonna risk a defensive-minded player to bring on and either Bigón or Iniestra to go up top and search for an equalizer.
A victory that's going to keep the hopes of El Guadalajara alive. There's no question that a loss tonight could be just devastating for El Rebaño, who's still up 1-0. Malcorra into the box, taken away by Osvaldo Alanis, who has been formidable tonight again and again. That's got to be at least the 3rd interception into a dangerous center plate into the box.
And Chivas needs to be careful. I think that their best moment has withered away. They weren't as dominant, and they lacked that punch, because 2-0 could have been a game changer in this one. Either way, they still have control of the scoreline, but Pumas now, with their 3rd substitute on the line and one more offensive one, they're gonna look to put Chivas on the ropes. And Chivas now might even consider laying back a bit and trying to figure something out on the counterattack where they're gonna have more space.
They certainly will. Pumas back out on their territory, looking to develop an offensive play, get something going. They have been Fault of ideals in the second 45 minutes. Ball played short to Malcorra, the capped. A former Xolos de Tijuana player has to drop it back again. And now we find the boots of Pablo Jaques swinging out near side to find Mozo. Here's Mozo as Mendoza gets ready to come on, as it was anticipated correctly by Aranza minutes ago down on the pitch. That's won by Mayorga. He's still on it, has to pivot, turn, goes close. They lost the ball, looked like a foul, not called. Mag move by Carlos Gonzalez. Crafty, the Paraguayan can have a shot. No. Sanchez again, no handball, and Jorge Isaac Rojas says play on. And Brizuela will cross midfield. Off to the races for El Rebaño. Dieter goes on the right, inside Pulido, and Brizuela can't find a receiver.
Well, Brizuela was down on the right-hand side, and Chapo Sanchez for the second time goes down to tie his shoe. When you can accompany the play, bizarre little details that sometimes you get in soccer.
There he is now. Sanchez back on his feet, going to Iram Mier, a product of Rayados, over 150 games with Monterrey. Injuries is what he had to battle for a long time. Ball's played into space. Pulido is on. It's taken away by Saldívar, who has to come off his line to take that away.
Okay, so
you look at this one again.
Third and last substitute coming into the pitch. So the number 23 is leaving the field, Jason Angulo, and the number 96 coming into the field, Brian Mendoza. This player that is 22 years old, from Acapulco de Juárez Guerrero, 4 games played, 205 minutes, and 2 goals scored.
Perfect, very complete scouting report there of Brian Mendoza, who's going to be that option. Last option, I should say, for Michel to try to savor something in this game. They're still down 1-0 at Estadio Akron. There he is, the first one for him. Tries to go inside, a ton of contact, looked like a foul. It's very close to Alberto Morin Mendez, assistant number 1 will call it. And I like this from the ref, yellow card after the reaction of the Pumas of UNAM defender. The yellow card is going to be for Alan Mozo.
So now what Pumas is basically doing is literally renouncing one of their defensive players, bringing him off the field to bring on Mendoza, who's going to be a forward up top. There you see the foul. It's a clear foul. And it's just 3 defenders, and Mozo, since he's so attack-minded, Pumas is going to be very exposed in the back. If Chivas can steal in transition quickly, with only the 2 center backs to defend, they can finish off the game with a counter.
Vega, Alexis Vega still on, is able to put that ball near side to Ponce. Ponce has Mayorga overlapping on his left. He's going to go inside central to Pulido, who lays it off quickly to Dieter, who does the same thing, and the back to Pulido. And back to Molina. Patience football now for El Rebaño Sagrado. The tick-tock of the ball. Here's the chance. Villalpando still on it. Have it on the left. The shot is saved by Saldívar. So close there for Ponce, who had it. And Pulido can close. The play close enough, I should say. Still 1-0 for Chivas.
That was wild. What a nonchalant save by Saldívar. Once the shot came in, he just raised his fist and hit it out. And then the ball that was like a hot potato inside of the 6-yard box finally cleared, and Pumas dodges a bullet. And this is what I'm talking about, that Pumas is going to be left exposed. A very interesting role is what Alan Mozo is going to have to play, because he's going to have to mind his defensive position as he goes up top.
Ponce intercepting again, has to backtrack and find a teammate. Back to Miguel Angel, who chips up top with his left boot, finding Vega. Backside turn to go for Alexa. Now he's able to 360 it, and he's off to the races. He's going to pump his brakes. No, he's tackled by Alan Mozo cleanly, but the ball will stay in the dominion of Chivas as we look at this one again. Boom. Reaction save from Saldívar, and then look at that. If Quintana doesn't get there, Alan Pulido was ready for the brace. He was ready for the second goal.
And Malcorra very close to drawing contact on Pulido to create a penalty kick situation there again.
If you let me, I can tell you that Ponce, after the play that we saw, during this season, he has gotten much confidence from the different managers, and he has paid off. correctly. He has become one important man. He has participated correctly.
Now you got to watch this from the back. The shot will be off target, but watch the play. Built well by La UNAM, as that's going to go off target. Daniel Rodriguez looks to be a little confused on that play. So does Iram Mier. And now all of the players want to have a dialogue with the referee of the matchup, Jorge Rojas, who doesn't have any issue making the call, the initial call, which is a corner kick out on the right. But well-designed play laid back by Felipe Mora.
Yeah, to Mendoza, it was a great play, a good collective counterattack by Pumas.
Here's Iturbe, a former Roma, River, and Xolos player. First pole service taken away at that same post. Alexis Vega's on it. Watch Vega trying to pivot and turn. Oh! And watch this infraction. They could go to VAR. Oh!
Straight red.
It's going to be a straight red card. Aranza, did you see what happened down there?
It was a clear foul, and I think the red, it's more than deserved. And the medical assistance immediately got close to the player. You'll see it on the replay, but it's a clear red for the number.
And I do want to see it, Aranza, and we're going to see it right here, Nico, but what a way to...
I don't think so. Mozo sells it really well. They should go to video review. Let's take another look at it. There's no intention there.
No, I don't see an intention. There's contact, but where else is Alexis Vega going to put his left boot?
Mozo sells it well. If you want to go along the lines of uncontrolled violence, I doubt that Vega.
And I think you called it, Nico. I
didn't call it. It's part of the rules, but they have to go to video review.
But who knows if they will? This isn't confirmed.
They have to.
It looks like Jorge Rojas wants to go to VAR, and I'll tell you what,
it would be scandalous if
I
don't go to the VAR.
I have to agree with Nico. I think he might take this red back.
I totally agree with it, because from my perspective, I could see a clear foul, but it depends on the perspective. So I think he needs to go, and this is a tool that he needs to use. Go and check it.
I mean, he's talking to the VAR, and obviously these things have its own process. But if it's a foul, sure, it was a foul. To me, Mozo sold it the right way,
and I don't think he's going to.
I don't know why they don't take a look at the monitor.
And El Flaco Tena is going to respond.
Oh,
almost
they got to take a look at the monitor.
Wow. Alexis Vega has been sent off, and I thought VAR should have been taken into account, because I don't believe that he should have been ejected. I don't think he should have been sent off. Well, there you have it. It's going to be a tough ending to this one, a rough ending to this one for Chivas of Guadalajara. Here's a substitution, Aranza.
Yeah, the first substitution made by Luis Fernando Tena, the number 6, Dieter Villalpando, coming off the field. The number 25 will come in, Michael Perez. So it's position for position. And from about what you were saying, I can tell you, yes, they need to check. They need to help themselves. Sometimes it's what I was telling you. You can see it from one perspective, but when you help yourself with the other people's opinions, with the video, then you can clear up and not affect the other team.
Sure, and that is the whole point of VAR. It's some of the things that I don't understand of the system yet, and it's not just at the Liga MX level. It's
unexplainable that they didn't go to the video review just now.
It's at other leagues. It's at Bundesliga. It's Champions, MLS, you name it. Here's Mozo. Ball comes inside. Second pole opportunity. And that is going to be a Pumas opportunity on the left. And clearly El Flaco Tena will have to adjust here. He's going to have to modify.
I mean, Jorge Rojas interpreted that he stamped
the mistake,
the player that went down. But at the end of the day, video review is to bring justice. But it's selective justice when you decide to go to the monitor or not. I don't know what harm it would have done had Rojas gone to the monitor.
Iturbe with the cross. It's taken back out. I believe it was once again Osvaldo Alanis. And Tena will have to make adjustments. He's already done one with Michael Perez coming on. More of a defensive attribute system than Dieter Villalpando, if you will. And now down on the ground, on the pitch, again, is Paraguayan striker Carlos Gonzalez.
Exactly. And the medical assistants are waiting for the referee signal to come in. And about what you were saying about the decision to send off Alexis Vega, this is something that has been happening during all the season on the Liga MX. If you already have this tool, why commit these mistakes?
Yeah, I'm still, and you know, we're in Chivas TV. We're streaming this game. It's the era of social media, and with Aranza's comments, I took a quick look at social media, and there you have it. Many colleagues, many people saying it should not have been a red card for Alexis Vega, and this is a decision, Nico, that affects Guadalajara directly, and the possibilities of them picking up this win now with a man down.
I don't know what the justification is to not look at a monitor. I mean, these are the reasons, and it's one of the 4 situations in which you can go to the monitor. Why have that doubt? Why have that doubt? It's beside me.
Jose Toño Rodriguez will have to play the rest of this one that way without Vega, and it's very early. That's the worst part. 64, 65 in. How do you adjust if you're Chivas of Guadalajara? Now a man down. The probability of doing so, it's going to be a complicated situation, Nico, because of the fact that it's a striker, but it may also be the light at the end of the tunnel. You lose a striker, you keep Alan Pulido up top, and you essentially drop back your midfield and you drop back your lines.
It's the storyline. It doesn't go well for Chivas in this situation, and I think Pumas are realizing what they need to do, and they need to go forward with a lot of aggressiveness and try to get at least a point, salvage a point from here. The scripts have flipped. Chivas, I think, through these 80 minutes has been the better team, but now it's going to be a matter of fact of holding on to this win, because if not, it's going to be Chivas winless in 4, but it's that defensive presence that they need to hone in on to keep Pumas at bay that has not shown positive signs up top.
Here's Pumas.
Guys?
Yes, Aranza.
So another substitution from Chivas de Guadalajara. César Huerta, El Chino Huerta, is coming in. He's a great forward. He was formed on the Youth Academy from Chivas. So I think this is a quick response from Luis Fernando Tena.
It certainly is. I am very curious to see if he'll keep Alan Pulido on or if he will bring up Pulido.
Yeah, I think it would be for Pulido.
It should be, especially because you are a man down. And
yes.
And I have to agree, El Chino Huerta with a ton of speed, agility, and ability, and there you have it.
Yes, I think Luis Fernando Tena is trying to refresh. So the number 9 is coming off, Alan Pulido, and just like we were saying, César Huerta, the number 33, El Chino, is coming in.
Yeah, the 18-year-old is going to have a really important role here in a lot of ball chasing, but having that freshness up top, knowing that Chivas somehow can pick out a pocket of space as Pumas grows desperate in these final moments of the game in order to capitalize on one more chance that they might get as they spring forward. Looking a surprise, because Pumas is going to look to make it all them in these final moments of the game.
Yeah, about 8 minutes to go in this one in regulation. It's that important time, such an important game for Chivas of Guadalajara. Can they pull it off with a man down? To the sending off of Alexis Vega, one of their more important assets offensively. And I'll say it again, we'll say it again, should have not been sent off. Play should have been reviewed. It was certainly reviewable. It was not at the end of the day by Jorge Isaac Rojas. He had a good game until then, and I think that will certainly be a dark spot in his final 90-minute review. Here's El Chino trying to get there in time. Huerta won't get there just in time. Drop back to Saldívar, comes off his line, and now los Pumas of Unamo have to play with some urgency. Forward some lines. They have a man up, of course, after the ejection of Vega. Iniestra dropping all the way back for Pablo Jaques.
And if you want to know a little bit more about Cesar Huerta, he was one of the most important men on the under-20 team. He debuted last year against León only with 17 years and 11 months. One of the most important men and forwards.
Yeah, you really get the feeling of how young some of these footballers are. El Chino Huerta in the 2000s, born in December of 2000. Guadalajara, Jalisco kid. Back having a great opportunity with Chivas. At a moment loaned out to Zacatepec. Ascenso MX side, but back with the first team and certainly trying to take advantage of these chances. These are the opportunities that can make you or break you.
Chapo Montes hurt up on the play that time, but to me it seemed like, Chapito Sanchez hurt on the play that time, but it seemed to me like he was the one that was committing the foul.
And with two substitutions for Luis Fernando Tena, one of these, perhaps the situation with Chapo Sanchez, could mean the third and final substitution for El Rebaño Sagrado.
Fortunately, he seems to be okay. Now, if Chivas ends up with the 3 points, this is going to be a fireproof for them, because then they can gain this confidence to see that even with a man down, with a man off the field, they achieve this. They have the quality, they have the skills, they have the man to accomplish this and to get to the next stage. Yellow card.
That is a yellow card. We'll look at it again. Ooh. And it's going to be for Huerta.
Forearm to the face of Andrés Iniestra.
It doesn't get easier for Chivas of Guadalajara, who has to go to El Gigante of Acero next match day and face Monterrey.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pumas have a Copa MX matchup against Potros Guam next week during the FIFA break. And then after the international fixtures, it's going to be a home match against León.
Now, Aranza, Chivas of Guadalajara at the moment in Cup play, in Copa MX, they are first place. So that could be a bright spot for them if they want to go deep into the Cup.
Exactly. Yes, they played last week, they won, and they're in on and doing things correctly on the Copa MX.
After Monterrey, it's Juárez on the road again. Then they'll come home at the end of the month to play Xolos. They'll be on the road the first week of November in Toluca. Mid-November to finalize. They get 2 home games. Could you imagine if Chivas of Guadalajara gets to those 2 final home games with maybe 4 victories that they need? They get Querétaro and Veracruz at home. This is the first one that they need to put in the back of their pockets. It's going to be tough. Only a couple of minutes left, but a man down. This is going to be an unbelievable motivation injection. Just as mentioned by Aranza, confidence will be built not only because you win, but you do it a man down against a very good Pumas of Unam team. 86 gun. Here's Malcorra. Coming up that defensive back line quick. Going inside for Felipe Mora. The former Universidad de Chile can control it. And it's going to be Chivas of Guadalajara ball. With minutes to go in this one, can they pull it off?
You should hear the stadium, the supporters here.
Now, we've certainly, obviously through the broadcast, Aranza, have looked at a very good ambiance, atmosphere, a good turnout. What would you say is the amount of fans that are actually at Estadio Akron tonight?
Don't prove me like that. I'm so bad at doing that. But I can tell you that this is 75% full.
Okay, so it's got to be over 35,000. It's what I thought at Akron, and that's a great turnout for a Chivas team that's trying to get better every week, taken back out by Sanchez. I think that midweek cup game victory really helped, of course, on that goal of Oribe Peralta, especially off a team that was coming hurt because of everything that El Super Clásico meant. The situation, of course, with El Pollo Briseño, who came out, apologized. Well done by El Pollo in that situation, El Super Clásico. All that affects a team like Chivas of Guadalajara. Here's Pumas swinging it out near side. Brian Mendoza loses it. Still for Pumas as Ponce is right on Mendoza. Drama in the last seconds of this one. 89 gone on a 37-minute penalty kick strike. Good from Alan Pulido. Chivas is going to win this. Alexi Vega was sent off 15 minutes ago. This is Chivas TV. This is Chivas Football, Chivas Soccer in English for the United States. Thank you for being with us. It's been a blast to bring you all the action of this one.
We're about to know how much time will be added.
And I will be waiting for that report. Aranza, more of the Chiva Hermanos and Chiva Hermanas continue to get involved with us on social media.
5 minutes.
Wow. We'll take together the first and the second. Added time is 11 minutes more played. We'll see if Chivas can hold on. Carlos Gonzalez looks to turn around. Backside turn to goal. The Guarani still on it. Drops it off for Mendoza, who lays it back again for the boots of Alan Mozo. Will switch the pitch, go far side, and find Malcorra. The captain will put a ball into the box. Gonzalez with the header! Goal! Can you say last second in the clutch? Carlos Gonzalez and the specialty of the store up to the 4th floor, beats everybody in the back and has just scored an unbelievable header.
What an exquisite goal. Malcorra with the service, but the header is out of this world. The technique, perhaps it wasn't even on purpose, but it's just extraordinary how it comes off of Gonzalez's head and takes the exact spin that needed to take to curl over Toño Rodriguez and into the back of the net. Never count this Pumas out, especially if you have Malcorra putting in those types of services. Playing left back because of Mendoza's inclusion into the lineup. And he just put up a dime for Gonzalez to go up and rise into a different stratosphere and somehow just nick that ball and curl it around and over the goalkeeper. Quite incredible from Pumas. And the red card is going to have a lot of explaining. He's gone. Huerta.
Wow.
It's going to have a lot of explaining. But at the end of the day, Pumas did put up a fight. Not too much. In reality, it wasn't too much from Pumas. But all they needed was one, perhaps some type of look, because I don't even know if it was a good look. But somehow it ended up in the back of the net.
Aranza, I'll go down to you for two reasons. The heartbreaker for Estadio Akron as Pumas is going to tie this game, and Huerta has been sent off. 9 men now, Chivas of Guadalajara.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Man out, being sent off. Cesar Huerta, this man that came into the second half. And I can tell you something specifically, speaking about Luis Fernando Tena. He was really mad because they just gave this striker enough space to hit the ball into the correct space, into the goal. And this is how they just tied. And well, the supporters, you can still hear them trying to support them until the last minute, until the last second. But, well, there's desperation from Chivas.
And watch Pumas now. Ball comes in, the header. Oh, can you believe that? How close was that as Luis Quintana was looking to put that in the back of the net?
That is incredible that that wasn't turned in. That was easier to make than Gonzalez's goal. Great service from Iturbe, whipped in with a lot of pace, and Quintana just mishits it, and Mier gets lucky that that deflects off of him out of bounds.
Pumas is going to have another opportunity here. What a way to finish. Chivas are 2 men down. Malcorra is going to put this into the box. Played way out. No one on the shot from Iturbe, who is alone by his lonesome because of the 2 men that have been sent off. Still 1-1.
Yeah, that was a great set-piece play. The drawing board definitely had some influence on this. The service is phenomenal. Along the ground, picks out Iturbe, who ends up taking an uncontrolled shot, but he was put into a dangerous situation, and imagine had this game been turned on its head. Final seconds now.
Jose Antonio Rodriguez to get rid of this one. We're nearing the end of the match. Brizuela was chasing that one. Chivas now could pull some lines forward, although he's going to be called offside. And that's why Saldívar wants to hurry up and play this one out. Pumas know they have an opportunity.
I don't think they're going to let play out. They're well past 5 minutes already, at 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Here's a long one. Played it into the box of Chivas of Guadalajara. At the tip of the box. Bigon goes down, no foul. And this is going to be it. Jorge Isaac Rojas is going to look at his watch and call it.
We said it. This was a fireproof.
That's it, and Estadio Akron won't like the 1-1 scoreline. Chivas so close yet so far away. Thank you so much for being with us. Nico Cantor, Aranza Fernandez, Ramses Sandoval on the production and controls of Enrique Ortega. This has been Chivas TV in English. Chivas and Pumas 1-1. We will see you very soon. Thank you so much.
Bueno, pues 1-1 el marcador, lo mejor indudablemente las anotaciones y lo mejor del partido lo vivimos al final, ¿no? Cuando Guadalajara se quedó con menos y que Pumas finalmente tomó la gran iniciativa y que produjo el empate.
Sí, lo que parecía, perdón, lo que parecía ya un triunfo de Chivas, al final Pumas alcanza a conseguir el gol y en los últimos minutos estuvo a punto de ganar el partido, me parece, y me quedé con la sensación de que Alanís pudo haber hecho algo más para evitar ese remate de cabeza.
Un gol que, bueno, así medio circunstancial, esa impresión da, pero es la mejor arma de Carlos González, ¿no? Por arriba, y finalmente como que tiene retratado el marco porque lo puso en donde no lo esperaba Toño Rodríguez.
Lo platicábamos desde la primera parte cuando estaba ganando ya el Guadalajara 1-0 y en el medio tiempo dijimos, bueno, ¿qué tiene que pasar? Pumas se va a tener que ir volcado al frente, a lo mejor no lo hizo durante mucho tiempo, pero algo que tenía que tener el Guadalajara era concentración en más de 90 minutos y no la tuvo.
Vamos al resumen, ¿no? Lo que vivimos en este duelo en el Akron. Primeros instantes del juego, Jorge Isaac Rojas, que platicábamos de él al inicio y después con el desarrollo del juego también tuvimos oportunidad de calificar su trabajo hoy con Paul Enrique Delgado.
Acertamos en el pronóstico,
Sí,
¿no, jefe?
sí.
O sea, sin decidir él, decidiendo el VAR, decidiendo los compañeros, con decisiones erróneas, y creo que también influye, sobre todo en la expulsión de Alexis Vega, ¿no? Que
Así es, que definitivamente yo creo que si Guadalajara pues se inconforma puede ganar esa, y aquí estamos, una jugada clave que estoy de acuerdo con lo que mencionaba Paul Enrique Delgadillo. Bueno, esto fue fuera del área, pero algo parecido dentro fue lo que llevó el penalti, ¿no? Del primer tiempo.
Sí, una jugada también en la que decíamos, Paul, que posiblemente haya muchas jugadas así. Lo decías en la transmisión, a lo mejor de repente lo más burdo, lo que se termina marcando. Hay penal, eso lo tenemos claro y lo marca así el árbitro.
Sí, estamos viendo que es un contacto como hay muchos en el partido y que el VAR no debería de intervenir. Creo que el árbitro debe apoyarse en la tecnología cuando es un error burdo y cuando es un error evidente ante todo el mundo. Esto está muy rebuscado y creo que sale de la esencia del juego y de lo que es el funcionamiento del VAR.
Ahora, no hizo ajustes Luis Fernando Tena ya hasta el final, y yo creo que la estaba llevando. ¿Qué tan culpable es el técnico? ¿Qué tan culpable los jugadores? ¿No? Que finalmente se quedaron con menos en el terreno de juego y finalmente llevaron a esto que es un empate y que no deja buen sabor a Guadalajara, aunque definitivamente no lograron la victoria.
Esta jugada también en la que González iba contra el balón, se termina lanzando Toño y bueno, sí llega ahí. A mí me parecía que tenía que haber amarilla, como bien lo dijiste, Paul, sobre el futbolista paraguayo, porque ya no había necesidad. Toño va directamente a buscar la pelota y lo de González es prácticamente buscando encontrarse a Toño.
Sí, porque esa jugada se origina de una ventaja que da Jorge Rojas, amonestan a Villalpando y esta acción termina siendo más fuerte que la jugada que le sacan la tarjeta amarilla a Villalpando. Es de las jugadas que vemos o que queremos que el delantero salte sobre el guardameta, ¿no? Y evite el contacto y una posible lesión para el contrario.
Hablábamos, ¿no?, de lo que habían hecho en la defensa central Mier y Alanís, pero finalmente la jugada que veíamos anteriormente de que le filtraron y que estuvo a punto de hacer daño González, y luego esto, pues habla ahí de que les falta más timing, ¿no?, a los centrales. Y estas son las estadísticas, mi querido Gabo.
Sí, las estadísticas finales: 5 tiros a gol por parte del Guadalajara, 3 de los Pumas, 4 desviados por cada uno, 16 faltas por parte del rebaño, 17 del cuadro universitario, 4 fuera de lugar de Chivas, 0 de los Pumas, 4 tarjetas amarillas del rebaño, 3 de los Pumas y, pues bueno, al final, 2 rojas, una que posiblemente yo creo el Guadalajara tendría que pelear, que es la de Alexis Vega, y la otra por parte de César Huerta, que bueno, ahí sí el chico perdió la cabeza, entró desconcentrado, le sacan amarilla y después en una jugada en la cual no tuvo que haber llegado a pegar, terminó yéndose expulsado.
3 partidos de Luis Fernando Tena, hoy no se perdió. No se mejoró, indudablemente, pero pues las necesidades son de victoria de 3 puntos. Pues nos vamos, ¿no?, hoy con la gran presencia de Paul Enrique Delgadillo, a quien le agradecemos profundamente que haya estado con nosotros.
Jefe. Un gusto.
Hombre, igual,
gracias.
Paul, aquí estamos.
Un placer.
Es tu casa, Chivas TV. Y pues bueno, nos vamos a nombre de todos, de Adán Vega, de Paul Delgadillo, de toda la gente que hace un trabajo espléndido Luego se enojan. En la mañana dije que todo el staff, audio, cámaras, que si quiero algo, que soy barbero, no. Hacen un gran trabajo, de verdad.
Ramsés.
Y de verdad, bueno, también Ramsés Sandoval, Nico Cantor, Aranza, que estuvo también en la transmisión de inglés, Fer Yacardi en el campo, Enrique Noriega, bueno, todos los que participamos. Empate en la cancha del Akron 1-1 entre Chivas y Pumas. ¡Vivan al máximo!